Morning.
Morning.
Project Freedom has begun.
Yes, it has. Project Freedom.
And I got some breaking news just minutes ago from Sky News.
State media that a U.S. warship has turned back from the area of the Strait of Hormuz, and that according to Iran's Navy, it's prevented the entry of U.S. warships into the Hormuz area, according to state television, going on to add that 2 missiles hit a U.S. warship near Jask Island after it ignored Iranian warnings. Now, this is being reported by the Fars news agency. That's state media in Iran. I cannot, at this moment, independently verify that for you. But this is what we're hearing from the Iranians. We've not had any response as yet from the Americans or the White House or Donald Trump on Truth Social. I'm sure we will either get their version of events or a counterclaim in due course. But
So this is what Sky is reporting right now. It has not come up on any of the media that we have here in the United States, but Sky is reporting that one of our ships has been hit by at least 1 missile by the Iranians, because the Iranians did say, after President Trump announced that Operation Project Freedom would begin, and basically what it is escorting neutral ships through Hormuz. That's all this is escorting neutral ships through Hormuz. The Iranians said that would be a violation of the ceasefire, and we will fire upon you. According to Sky News, they have, and one of our ships has been hit.
Well, that's a hell of a way to wake up on a Monday morning. Wonder where that's going to go. These are ships. Some of these have been sitting there for weeks, and they're running out of food, and they're running out of stuff because they're just sitting there. So Donald Trump said, yeah, we're going to move them out, and you're right. There's kind of a line being drawn in the sand here, or in the water, rather. So where does it go from here, man? Could be a dicey little Monday. Mm-hmm. If they're firing on our ships, that's not going to go down well.
I cannot imagine that Donald Trump is going to sit back, or Pete Hegseth will sit back and allow our ships to be attacked by Iranian missiles without some sort of response.
Yeah, I imagine there will be, but what will that response be?
Well, that's a good question. Nobody will know. And this Sky News report, he made it clear that that's coming from the Fars news agency, which is the state agency in Iran. But I wouldn't think that Iran would put that out unless it was true, because that would bring a response.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not something you're going to just toss out there fairly lightly, man. I mean, I imagine it did happen. They said they were going to fire if there's any interference, and that's what's happened. Well, allegedly.
Yeah.
But, this has been going on for weeks. This could blow up into something. I don't think that's a really good turn of events. They're firing on American ships, if that's true.
It's an incredible way to start the week.
Yeah, man. And it was a fairly quiet weekend otherwise. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's troubling news.
We also know that Somali and Houthi, when you say Houthi, that's Iran.
Right.
Rebels, the pirates, have been hijacking oil tankers using the latest in technology. They've been using GPS surveillance and other technology so that we can't discover what they're doing. And they're demanding ransom for these tankers that they're taking, because we're talking millions of dollars in oil that they're taking and holding. And so obviously they would be demanding ransom. But I can't help but think, since Somalia and Somalian pirates are involved, how much money came from Minneapolis that's funding these guys?
Well, I kind of made that connection over the weekend, too, because we haven't heard from the Somali pirates in quite a while. They largely haven't been a factor, but they may have been somewhat enriched by the corruption out of Minnesota, and suddenly they're hooking up with the Houthis and attacking tankers. It's not a good turn of events. So our Somali pirates back in our world. Excellent. And again, what if they were being funded by all this crap coming out of Minnesota? That would be a bad thing.
I would tend to think that that's where a lot of that money has gone. We're talking about, every week millions and millions of dollars in cash.
Right.
In suitcases was flown out of Minneapolis airport over to Somalia.
Right.
And how much of it made its way back to politicians in the United States is something that I think the J.D. Vance Commission is looking into. But we'll find that out eventually, and who's going to go to prison for that, if anybody. But really, where did that money go after it made it to Somalia? Obviously, if they've got the wherewithal to buy the latest in technology as pirates to go after oil tankers, they have to be well funded by somebody. I'm thinking it's the taxpayers of the U.S.
Well, probably because, again, we had pretty much dealt with this problem years ago. You haven't heard about Somali pirates in quite a while. I mean, there was a time when you heard about this stuff all the time, maybe about 10 years ago. But they really haven't been on the radar at all. So if they're popping up all of a sudden and taking on tankers, they got to have a source of income from somewhere. And maybe it's you and me. Wouldn't that be rich?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Project Freedom is underway, but according to the Sky News Agency this morning, one of our ships has taken a direct hit from Iran. Now, the Department of the DOJ, Todd Blanche, Deputy Attorney General at this point, acting Attorney General, says yesterday that the president is doing something the past 5 presidents did not do.
He's not effectively arguing anything except that he is trying to keep this country safe. We have kept Congress updated at every step of the way, consistent with what other presidents have done. President Trump is doing something that the past 5 presidents did not do. They promised to do it. They promised, oh, we'll stop Iran. Oh, Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. President Trump is doing what others have promised but failed to do. And as far as what we're doing with Congress, keeping them updated, we are doing so.
I like the job he's doing. One of the things, I mentioned this last week to you, is that the president, I think they failed in the messaging early on in this, and instead of saying up front, this is a 47-year war that I'm ending, it sounded like he began a new war, and that's what people had trouble with. But I went back and I saw, and I put it up on my X account, Rachel Maddow from 1 year ago was screaming at Donald Trump saying he's just going to sit back and wait for Iran to have nukes pointed right at the United States. He's not doing anything about the nukes. And today she's screaming that he's doing something about the nukes. So are all the other Democrats, right? And Todd Blanche is correct. 5 presidents could have done something about Iran having nukes and ending this 47-year war. They didn't have the guts or the nuts to do it, and here President Trump is doing it.
Well, it's Trump derangement syndrome. It doesn't matter what he does. They have to hate him for it, even if it's something that they wanted to have done themselves. I mean, they look ridiculous when they start trotting out some of this old video from just a handful of years ago saying Iran can't have a nuke. And I would agree with you that to a certain extent the messaging at the front end was not all that great, but I mean, he was saying at the beginning this is something that has needed to be done for a long time. I mean, he was messaging it or framing it as an old war. Maybe he should have been even more pronounced with that message, because I don't think it really would have mattered, because no matter what he said, they were going to go with no new wars.
Well, that's true.
That's exactly what it didn't matter. There was a 47-year-old war. It didn't matter to what extent he was going to message it.
No, that's true.
They were going to frame it as a new war.
No, that's true. That's the radical left. But those that are in the middle that would be watching something and trying to decide for themselves because they're rational human beings. The people on the left are not, and they've got the TDS, and whatever he does, they're going to scream the opposite. But in the middle, you've got people who are semi-rational who would look at this and go, yeah, you know what? Had the administration done a better job at the beginning of maybe some social media videos showing the past 47 years of Americans being killed by this regime, and how it's cost us not only lives but trillions of dollars over the past 47 years, had they done a better job with social media and on television and wherever else getting the message out, those people that are in the middle that have some rationality left in their brains, which is few and far between in America, admittedly. But those people would be able to look at that and go, yeah, let's wrap this puppy up. Let's save some more lives. Just like, Truman had to drop a couple of nukes to save lives, right?
Well, yeah, and a lot of the people, the social media influencers, were the early MAGA critics. Like Joe Rogan was out there saying, I don't know, he said no new wars. Why? Here we are. This is nuts. So maybe if he'd have been a little more focused on social media and the podcasters, like he was during the election.
Well, yeah, that's what I always said, is go on Rogan and explain it on his show. Take another 3 hours with Rogan and go, here's what I'm going to do, and this is why I'm going to do it. I'm going to draw this to a close so you don't have anybody else sit in the studio missing an arm or a leg.
Sure. I mean, he could have done that more. I mean, I don't know to what extent it would have mattered, because the forces of evil were going to characterize it as what they want to characterize it as, even though they're all hypocrites. So I don't know. We're kind of at an interesting juncture with this thing. Again, I kind of go back to the idea, if they're shooting, as we're hearing this morning, they're firing on American ships. Whatever leadership is left, maybe they just don't give a crap. maybe they really are just such zealots and such weirdos. They just don't care what happens.
For sure, there are those in the Revolutionary Guard that are trying to invite a larger attack from us to bring about a cataclysmic event, the return of their Mahdi, their Messiah, and their apocalypse, their vision that they have. There's no doubt that there are those in the Revolutionary Guard who are attempting to do that. No doubt. No doubt.
I mean, and like I said last week, the scariest dude in the room is the dude who doesn't care. They might not give a crap if that country survives.
Let's take a quick break. I'm going to tell you about my friends over here in Texas. Man, it was a great time last Wednesday. Ran up to New Braunfels and hung out with Dr. Sally and all the other audiologists from here in Texas at the Senior Benefit Expo that was going on at the Civic Center. They got some more stuff like that they're going to be doing in the future. Can't wait to tell you more about that as they connect with the community. They've always ready to connect with you at Here in Texas, HEAR, here in Texas, with their great hearing aids to help your life be much better in quality. That's what life is all about, right? It doesn't matter about quantity. What matters is really quality, and Here in Texas is here to improve the quality of your life like it did for Sean Rima, like it's done for Trey Ware, like it's done for thousands of people throughout South Texas who enjoy the great benefits of being able to hear clearly again. In my case, it was, a lifetime of not hearing well, and I was telling a story to some of the folks there last Wednesday in New Braunfels about how my life was just radically changed the minute Dr. Sally put those hearing aids in my head, because I could hear my wife, and it was amazing. First time I'd ever heard her, and we've been married for 43 years. I got to tell you, Here in Texas is here to help you or a loved one, no matter what your situation is. It starts with their hearing evaluation. That's where you need to begin with this right now. Just go to the website. You can book your appointment right there, and they're ready to see you right away. One of the great audiologists, and they've got a number of them there. I met 4 or 5 of them just the other day, are here ready for you at Here, HEAR, HereInTX.com. AccuWeather forecast, sun and a few clouds with a high of 85 today. Rain chances return Wednesday through Saturday of this week. 64 right now at KTSA.
Good morning. We do have some road work on 35 northbound O'Connor up to Judson Road. It's got the roadway reduced to one lane. Just a left lane is open, one left lane. So stop and go for Walsham, now a 20-minute delay. 35 southbound Eisenhower, road work now off to the shoulder, and they just picked up the road work at 35 southbound as you approach Loop 410. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Breaking news, bold analysis, and the stories shaping our future. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Are you looking for new windows, maybe siding, maybe even a patio cover, but you also want to keep your savings account from having a panic attack? I'm Eddie Murata, the window guy from Precision Windows and Doors. We're a local, family-owned window, siding, and door company. And the price? Let's just say we don't have the pushy commission salespeople. We pass the savings on to you. No limited time nonsense, just honest pricing and a quote you can trust. For energy-efficient windows, we've got them all the top brands and highest quality. Want the best siding in the business? We carry and install hardy siding all over San Antonio. And if you're craving shade, we've got custom patio covers that'll make your backyard the envy of the block. At Precision Windows and Doors, we offer military and senior discounts, flexible financing, and only recommend what's best for your home. Call me, Eddie, the window guy, at 210-596-6588. That's 210-596-6588. Or visit PrecisionWindowsSA.com. Let's brighten up your home together.
At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to keep you moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
Not a lot of things in this world are free, especially a world with high inflation. But when it comes to financial education, I have something free for you. It's the Creating Richer Lives podcast. I'm Carl Eggers, your host. Find the podcast each week at creatingricherlives.com or on all major podcasting platforms.
Get $1,000 in free survival gear for a limited time. You heard that right. Right now, when you order the powerful Grid Doctor 3300 solar generator from mypatriotsupply.com, we'll send you over $1,000 in life-saving preparedness supplies, including a 4-week survival food kit, water filtration system, an off-grid cook stove, and much more, absolutely free. This offer won't last long, so get your generator and free survival gear now at mypatriotsupply.com. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
Ben Adams Jewelers is going out of business, and their entire inventory of fine jewelry must be sold. After serving the San Antonio area for over 56 years, Ben Adams Jewelers will be closing the doors forever. Every piece of quality jewelry is discounted up to 70%, and this week, take up to an additional 10% off the sale price. Prices are dropping and have never been this low, so don't miss out. Hurry in to Ben Adams Jewelers' huge going out of business sale before it's too late.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
From the Babylon Bee this morning, doctors confirm that life after age 35 is just an endless cycle of dieting and back pain until you die.
Yes, I concur. I absolutely agree. That's predominantly what it is. A couple of funny little stories. Well, not funny. One's kind of funny. Marco Rubio, we were just talking about this off air. I'm not exactly sure whose wedding he was at, but he was DJing. He stepped in and spun a few songs at a wedding. So the Secretary of Everything is actually apparently also a pretty good DJ and was spinning some tunes, man.
Now, you can't see this, but I have some sound from it. So he's got the headphones pressed to his ear, and he's in front of the computer screen.
And then somebody came up and started bugging him to play Stairway to Heaven. He wouldn't do it. Because we've all had that guy, haven't we? Like, we've all had the drunk guy wanting to hear Sister Christian or Stairway to Heaven. The other story, Sheriff Salazar was in an accident Saturday afternoon. He T-boned somebody at South Pecos and Guadalupe Street. And he claims that somebody ran a red light. He was in his company vehicle. Now, they posted the video footage. It's really hard to tell what's going on. I don't know if you watched the video footage.
I did. There's a clearer version out this morning, and it does look like he had the green.
And
it looks like he had the green.
Ran a red light.
Looks like it.
Allegedly. And T-boned somebody. There's an older woman in the car, and her airbags deployed. And she suffered, as he said during his press conference, some anxiety and was kind of freaked out by the whole thing, which anybody would be. But she went to the hospital. Is going to be all right, and nobody else was injured. But that happened. That was a thrilling story. But what do you think about that?
Well, I'm glad everybody's fine.
Well, yeah,
I'm glad he's good, and I'm glad the old lady's going to be fine as well. He doesn't live too much in my head, except when something like this happens. Then I think about, okay, the media rumors in San Antonio, and again, I stress rumors. Mm-hmm. Are that he is applying to replace Bill McManus at SAPD.
You know he'd love that gig.
Well, and my question is he the right guy for that gig when you consider the state of the jailhouse, when you consider the cases that have not been solved that Bexar County's been in charge of, and you consider his politicization, is he the right guy to be the chief of police for San Antonio? It seems like he's a hardcore political figure and not somebody who would be fair and balanced in that position.
He has gone very political, and he's he always kind of was that, but over the past couple of years, I mean, he's really upped it, taking it to a new level, and he's very interested in people knowing who he is and going viral. He does his daily little videos in his kitchen and stuff. Mariachi singing, all that stuff. So if I had my choice, I'd want a cop's cop, in that position. You know what I mean? I want somebody who's a real law enforcement officer who isn't concerned so much with what people think of him. He's just going really in the opposite direction.
The whole northeast side of Bexar County looks like Little Mexico. Dogs running everywhere, crime, drugs. He thinks that he's got it under control, but you don't have it under control.
Well,
so you should be doing better things for the community of Bexar County than singing at a freaking
No, I
agree.
I totally agree with that. And his videos, all he's trying to do with his videos is elevate his persona so that if he does try to be chief of police, he's got that kind of that recognition, right? But how would you feel if you were a conservative cop? Or if you were a conservative citizen in San Antonio, and maybe you were a Trump supporter,
right?
And here's a guy who is 110% at the least in it for the Democrats because he did the DNC and he backed.
Oh God, yes.
And so now he's your boss, and he doesn't like you because of your politics. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
It made me feel a little weird, yeah. I mean, if I was on the force or if I worked for him, yeah, absolutely it would make me feel a little weird. Especially what really turned it for me with him was that appearance at the DNC. He was also doing 60 Minutes and different interview shows at that time. And really, you could see the shift in his focus. I mean, he'd always been kind of a camera-friendly guy, but he really went all the way over to the dark side with his politics and videos and all that stuff.
And I think Bill McManus is probably he's probably a moderate that leans a little bit to the left,
Sure.
I believe, but he was able to conceal that and be a guy who walked the line. In other words, he wasn't on one side or the other completely and totally. I think he was forced to do a very left-wing thing from his boss, Cheryl Scully, with the immigrants that were caught over here by Splashdown. But other than that, I think he did a job of walking that line for both sides. Javier doesn't even want to appear to be.
Oh no,
he doesn't want to have the appearance of being fair.
He's jumped in with both boots, man. In this one, he really has. And look, I'll even point to the scruffy little beard, little Pete Buttigieg beard he's got going on. You can always tell a Democrat because if they're a dude, they got a little stupid little beard going right now.
Yeah. So I'm glad he's okay after the crash.
Oh, yeah.
It does look like the other person's fault. I'm glad they're okay too. But as far as this media talk about him becoming the SAPD chief, I personally don't think that's a good idea.
I don't either. I agree with you.
All right, we'll take a quick break. I want to tell you about my friends over at BG Products. BG will help your vehicle survive. In fact, I was doing a really weird thing yesterday as I was watching the NASCAR race. I was looking up oils. Don't ask me why. It's one of those rabbit holes you get into, because I was thinking about those racing engines. And those guys, they were running Texas Motor Speedway yesterday, and the stress that those racing engines are under, which I happen to know a little bit about. And that's when I started to use BG products in my race cars, because it definitely was a great defender against wear and tear and breakdowns under a very high-stress environment. Those racing engines, man, you're punishing them all day, every day. And so when we used the BG, we saw results that were amazing. And I started using it in all our street vehicles, too. Love the stuff. So the protections that I got on the racetrack, the protections the other guys get on the racetrack with BG, transfer to your street vehicle like you would not believe. Not that you're going to be running 200 miles an hour for hours on end, no. But it's just as tough out here on 1604 and I-35 when you're stuck in traffic trying to get to work. And you don't want to have those high bills. Man, they can just drive you, into bankruptcy, those high repair bills. So next time you have your oil change, just ask for the BG service. Just log on today. Find out more about it at bgfindashop.com.
Ware and Rima, on air and online every morning.
And actually, they become hot as a pistol, so what can I tell you?
Watch the show weekday morning 6 till 10, only on KTSA.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce!
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to GoodRx.com/weight loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
Well, you can't turn on the news or open a business journal lately without seeing these 2 letters, AI. Hey, Trey Ware here. I know what many of you business leaders are feeling, that mounting pressure to do something. But here's the reality. Rushing into AI just to say you're doing it is a fast track to security breaches, compliance nightmares, and a whole lot of wasted capital. That's why I want to tell you about Bridgehead IT. They aren't here to sell you on the latest shiny object or trending bot. They're here to give you a strategy. It starts with their AI assessment. Bridgehead IT sits down with your team to identify where AI can actually deliver measurable value and where it's just noise. They prioritize protecting your sensitive data and ensuring your transition is secure from day one. Bridgehead IT focuses on clarity first. You get a roadmap built on outcomes, not hype. If AI is on your roadmap for 2026, start with the experts who put security and your bottom line first. Visit bridgeheadit.com. That's bridgeheadit.com.
Precision Garage Door of San Antonio handles tune-ups, repairs, and new doors. No subcontractors, fully stocked trucks, guaranteed work. If it rolls, lifts, or jams, call Precision Garage Door. Book online or call Precision Garage Door.
In the 80s, fashion was rad and music was cool. But if your AC isn't cool, that's totally bogus. It's Martin Bamba from the KTSA Rockin' Home Show. For AC repair or a full install, call Right Home Services right now and get a complete AC install up to 3 tons for just $89.99. That's a limited time deal with serious savings. Right has the right team, the right price, and the right stuff. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000. They bring the cool.
The right stuff.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
A bathroom remodel is not just about looks, it's about comfort, safety, and function too. Safe Showers and Bathwise have joined forces with New Bath Today to bring you more, including showers, tubs, flooring, and vanities. Get $1,500 off your new shower at newbathtoday.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
A new phase in the war between the U.S. and Iran now underway, and it's likely already testing a ceasefire that's been happening for about 3 weeks. 2 suspects on the loose after a shooting at a party in Amarillo over the weekend. 10 people hurt. 2 teenagers are dead. And the Western Conference semifinals set to begin tonight. Well, take a look at what's happening in the Alamo City at 7 o'clock. KTSA News Time, 6:33.
Good morning. Got some road work going on. Could possibly slow you down. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. On 35 northbound O'Connor to Judson, roadway reduced to 1 lane. Solid 20-minute delay. It's slow from Walsham. 35 northbound the on-ramp from Thousand Oaks, roadwork blocking the entrance ramp. And heads up in the south side of town, a busy intersection division at Nogalitos. That's blocked. We've got fallen power cables in the area. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Warmer and increasingly humid to kick off the week. It'll be partly sunny today with the high up to 84. Breezy this evening, otherwise warm and humid. The low 69 along the Riverwalk and 66 in Hill Country. Mostly cloudy, humid, even warmer Tuesday, the high of 88. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
63 degrees, partly cloudy skies right now at San Antonio's Severe Weather Station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550, KTSA, and FM 107.
And here we go at 6:34 now with Ware and Rima on KTSA. Monday, May 4th. Sun and a few clouds, 85. Rain chances increase Wednesday through Saturday of this week. You a Who fan?
I used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started back in the 80s. I really loved it. I got to do a Who thing, yeah.
This one?
Yeah. I saw them actually in concert right after Entwistle had died.
Yeah.
Yeah, a great band.
That's good.
Yeah, they were badass,
That's really good.
Man.
Okay, so we have this from the weekend news.
I want to say one thing. Andrew Giuliani, so his father is Rudy, the greatest mayor in the history of New York, I think by far. He took a ravaged city, a city that was really under siege. Probably most people thought it was going to survive. He turned it around. He was a great, great mayor. And then they treated him very, very unfairly. You go back and tell your father all of the things that have come out over the last couple of months through Tulsi and through all of the people, Cash, everybody. They've proven your father 100% correct. His father was treated so unfairly. Your father has been 100% correct.
That, of course, is President Trump in the Oval Office speaking to Mayor Giuliani's son. And he told him to go back there and tell your daddy we love him and we appreciate him. He's in the hospital in critical condition, but stable condition, which takes me back less than a week ago.
Yes.
And we were talking about Jimmy Kimmel less than a week ago because of the shooting at the White House press corps dinner and all that kind of stuff that was going on. We got news concerning that. We'll get to a little bit later on. But Kimmel does have some dark obsession with the death of conservative Republicans.
Last night,
this was less than a week ago.
America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani rose from the grave to weigh in on
So, I mean, he rose from the grave to weigh in on the discussion.
the ongoing drama involving me.
So anyway, he plays a clip from Rudy Giuliani. The guy's just got an obsession with the death of conservative Republicans. It goes beyond anything, goes beyond the pale. And when I think about his employer, ABC and Disney, you always thought of them as being the family network and the family company for America, but their lead political guy in late night is far from that.
Well, he is, and Kimmel, they're all on the death trip. I mean, this is, wishing death on people they don't like. It's like you're trying to outcool the other guy by coming up with the worst death joke. And Kimmel's just another stooge like the rest of him. It is perplexing, though, the extent to which they're propping him up. Because if he were beholden to basic market forces, he'd have been off the air a long time ago.
Well, we said that for a long time, is that he's losing approximately $40 million a year.
Yeah.
Now, what other business? Okay, let's just take Spirit Airlines.
Let's use that as an example. What happened there?
Any business that is losing $40 million a year is not going to be a model that's going to survive very long. Now, Disney and ABC are so diversified that they have multiple streams of income that are not even their brands that are out there. They've got their fingers in a lot of different places that they're making a lot of different money, and they are, propping this guy up so that he can make death jokes, which are not funny. And the people on the left, the George Soros organization called Move On, they understand the gravity of what's happening with this guy right now because they have purchased billboards, stationary billboards, and those rolling billboards to drive back and forth in front of the CEO of Disney, in front of his offices, saying, "Protect the First Amendment, protect Jimmy Kimmel, protect the First Amendment, protect Jimmy Kimmel." And at the end of the day, they have to make a financial decision. That's what I would think. Like Bud Light had to make a financial decision.
Yeah, I mean, but Bud Light did have to make a decision because people weren't buying Bud Light anymore. In a sense, with a guy like Jimmy Kimmel, there's no beer not to buy. I mean, he's already losing audience all the time. The fact that he's still on the air now is completely mystifying. They're obviously making a political decision, or they're they're cowed by the Soros money or whoever is funding this stuff behind the scenes. But it's mystifying the guy's still on the air. He sucks, and he's losing audience constantly.
Well, and the real question, whatever support he's got remaining, is the question to those folks. I would say whatever sponsors he's got, right? And there's a list of them online so that people can boycott. The real question is, are you cool being associated with a guy who jokes about the death of other people regularly,
right.
Not just a one-off?
Oh, it's his trip.
It is his thing. Are you cool with that? Let's just say it's ABC Automotive. I'm just making one up. Okay. The question for them is, ABC Automotive, are you cool with that? Are you cool with being on his show and being a sponsor of his, knowing that he's got this dark obsession with the death of half of the country?
Well, I guess so. I mean, I think it's a valid question to start asking all these other satellite businesses, are you cool with this? Because very obviously ABC is, very obviously Disney is, because they're the ones keeping him on the air well beyond his shelf life. I mean, you and I wouldn't last in our purview as long as he had if we were, losing audience like that at the same rate relative to what we do. Nobody would. Nobody would stay on the air losing audience the way he does and losing revenue. So,
well, let's take it one step further.
In other words, it's almost impossible to boycott the guy because people are already tuning out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you got to go with these other companies and say, "Are you cool with this?"
Yeah, and go one step further. On the other side of it, if you were to make a joke about the death of Barack Obama and try to make it funny, you'd be fired.
Oh, sure.
And rightfully so. I'm not saying you. I'm saying you universally. Anybody were to make that kind of joke, you would be fired because companies wouldn't stand for that. But companies like ABC are willing, because, man, I don't know if you listen to Martha Raddatz and George Stephanopoulos and all those people, but they hate Donald Trump with a white-hot hate. It's not just a normal kind of, I disagree with his policies. they hate the man.
Oh, yeah. I swapped over. I've started doing this more and more where I swap over to MS Now, whatever they're called now, or CNN, M-Snow. And I've started watching coverage. And I had recorded I had the Correspondence Dinner on record in my bedroom, watched it in the main room, and I just rediscovered it this weekend that I had this recording, but it was from CNN. So I sat and watched it. I sat and watched the coverage leading up to the Correspondence Dinner. And it's just a foregone conclusion. Trump is shutting down the free press. It's a foregone conclusion. He's a white supremacist. They really lay it on thick. And that was CNN. They're all putting that crap out there. Kimmel's just one more. But, at least I guess you could claim CNN and MS Now have something, constituting an audience of some kind. But he didn't even have that.
Nope. And there's one other thing that's going on TikTok in this same realm that I want to play a little bit from. And TPUSA has put out a notification saying this is sick, this is horrible that you're doing this. This was an actual death of Charlie Kirk and his assassination. But what they're doing now with some of these videos, and I'm going to go ahead and play it because TPUSA played it. They put it up on the X account, and I shared it on mine. And it's these influencers who are using the actual shooting of Charlie Kirk and the ensuing chaos as a transition in a video. So this one here is a young, good-looking dude, and what they're doing is they're using the actual Charlie Kirk.
Right,
this is him speaking. This is Charlie Kirk speaking. And then they focus in on their neck, and when they pull back out, it's another person pulling back out from their neck.
Right.
Okay. So does that make it clear on radio that you take your camera and you move it to your neck, and then the sound, pow, and it's Charlie Kirk speaking, and then he's dead, and you hear all the screaming, and then you move back, and it's a different person moving it out of their neck. So here is the example.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
They call it a transition sound, transition sound in video that they use. That's the actual shooting of Charlie Kirk, and these influencers are using it like crazy on TikTok.
I've seen these reels over the years where they use a gunshot to kind of signal the changing of the person or whatever the thing they're changing about the video. And so when I read about that, I was like, "Are you serious? You're using the actual gunshot?"
And that voice is Charlie Kirk.
Yeah,
let me play it again because TPUSA played it. They want to make a point about this. So here it is.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
And now you've got the transition from one person to the other on TikTok. And they're asking, the reason they're putting it up is they're asking TikTok to stop it. Please get in this is the murder, the assassination of somebody.
Yeah, I don't really, I'm thankful I don't really get the whole death culture thing because I really don't. You've always had a-holes in a sense on that side who, like Sean Penn, you can go back years and find Sean Penn wishing colon cancer on people. But it's become so corporate now. It's so institutionalized. It's just across the board. That's what you do. You wish death on people you politically disagree with. And it's so prevalent. I don't know. I mean, it's depressing. It's depressing as hell. These are grown-ass adults. I mean, I can understand kids, making sick jokes and stuff, but these are adults wishing death and joking about the death of people. You look at Kimmel and Melania and all that with the widow joke, and it's like, well, I guess you'd be all right with your mom being, a widow, being made a widow if she, or your wife being a widow,
or his dad. The same joke he told about Giuliani.
Yeah, I mean,
same thing about his dad.
With your dad, somebody making a joke like that about your dad, probably not.
Quick break. More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA. Monday, May 4th, sun and a few clouds today, high of 85. Rain chances are going to return Wednesday through Saturday of this week. 63 now, KTSA.
Good morning. Got some road work on 35 causing delays. This report sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance. Northbound 35, O'Connor to Judson. Roadway reduced to one lane. Got some road work. It's got you slow from Walsham, so a solid 25-minute delay. Only the left lane open. And 35 northbound, that on-ramp from Thousand Oaks. Road work blocking the entrance ramp. Now on the south side, Division, westbound Nogalitos, an accident where a vehicle struck a light pole. Well, now those power lines are down, so heads up. A right lane block. If you have questions about youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA builds better athletes, better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, it's Sean, and here in Texas, apparently had a great event at the New Braunfels Senior Expo last week. Trey was out there hanging out, and a lot of folks came on by and got a free hearing test. That's what you should do. You should go get tested. Go in for a consultation with one of the great audiologists at here in Texas. They have 3 different locations where you can do this. I did it about 2 years ago, and I tell you what, it was the best thing I ever did for my hearing, for my life. I didn't have a profound hearing issue like Trey does. I just couldn't hear through the surface noise. So if my wife's standing right next to me, I can't hear what she's saying. It's causing us problems. So I went to see an audiologist at here in Texas. They tested me. It took about 30 minutes. And I tell you what, they were able to calibrate some hearing aids specifically for my issue. In fact, these things are hooked up to my Bluetooth. I can control the volume and add filters. It's great. If you want to start hearing your world again, go get a consultation with Here in Texas by calling them up, 830-360-2000, or look them up online at hereintexas.com, HEARNTX.com.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Hey folks, this is Carl Eggers. You've heard me for over a decade on the Trey Ware Show. When was the last time you had a real financial checkup? Not a quick chat, not a sales pitch, an honest, personal review of where you stand and where you're headed. When you schedule a free financial checkup with us, you sit down with me personally, not a salesperson, not a high-volume call center. I personally walk you through your current cash flow, your investments, and yes, even your tax return, because your financial life isn't a one-size-fits-all. We actively manage your assets using unique, tailored investments, not cookie-cutter models or proprietary products. And we build comprehensive financial plans designed for you, your goals, your family, and your future. Give us a call at 210-526-0057. That's 210-526-0057, or visit creatingricherlives.com.
Investment management services offered by Cap Trust, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Our current disclosures are available on creatingricherlives.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I'm Matt with Mr. Electric. If your lights flicker or breakers trip, your home's saying, hey, something's up.
Ignoring that message could mean trouble ahead.
Let our experts take a look at your system.
Call Mr. Electric at 210-248-2026 or visit MrElectric.com and enter your zip code.
Energy efficient windows built to last. Call Precision Windows and Doors at 210-596-6588. PrecisionWindowsSA.com.
Discover the difference that Jesus Christ can make in your life at Cornerstone Church, located at 18755 Stone Oak Parkway in San Antonio. Every Sunday morning at 8:30 and 11 and Sunday evenings at 6:30, join Pastors John and Matt Hagee as they preach the uncompromising Word of God. Can't make it to the church? Cornerstone offers live streaming of all the Sunday worship services. You can find them each Sunday online at jhm.org and on Facebook Live. JHM.org also offers on-demand sermons by Pastors John and Matt Hagee, concerts with award-winning Christian artists, as well as special, well-known guest speakers from around the nation and the world. Cornerstone Church offers encouragement for every stage of life. They have special programs for kids, teens, and young adults as well. So bring your family and friends to Cornerstone Church at the corner of 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. For more information, visit sacornerstone.org or call 210-490-1600. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, it's my buddy John Hayward. He will be here Wednesday at 6:35 with Ware and Rima, KTSA.
Yeah.
That's Joan Jett. I hate myself for loving you. It's 6:51 now, Monday.
I got distracted. I was reading Trump's Truth Social post on Bill Maher, and I don't know if you saw that from, I guess it was, what is today, the 4th, from Friday or whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Just going off and how pathetic he was because he showed up and he asked for a drink, and Bill Maher is not, this great intellect that everybody makes him out to be. He was actually kind of nervous and blah, blah, blah. I totally distracted from what I was going to bring up, but just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
People think Bill Maher is like this great paragon of independent thought. He ain't that, man. He really isn't.
No.
I found this interesting. The Academy is saying, not that we give a crap about the Oscars, but, there has been this big conversation in the creative arts, especially in Hollywood, about what an actor's rights are as far as AI images being generated. We have a Val Kilmer role movie that's coming out that his family agreed to and he agreed to, and they created a performance using Val Kilmer at various ages. But now this was working in conjunction with the family and with his own wishes. The Academy.
Can I interrupt just one second?
Sure.
Just 1 second.
Sure.
Okay. This is just now coming down from U.S. Central Command. The claim that the Iranians hit one of our ships is untrue. No U.S. Navy ships have been struck. U.S. forces are supporting Project Freedom and enforcing the naval blockade on Iranian ports. Sorry to interrupt, but
that's fine. Well, it would have been really stupid of them to start firing on our ships anyway.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, but
you saw that on Sky News 30 minutes ago. I've always been skeptical of Sky News.
Sure, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So they have not fired on one of our ships,
which
would be incredibly stupid.
All good.
If you're in their position. Hollywood says, or the Academy of Arts says, the Oscar people says that unless it is demonstrably, a performance will not win any awards unless it is demonstrably performed by humans with their consent. So I guess the Val Kilmer thing would kind of still, in other words, you can't just generate a performance of an actor using their image and start winning Oscars without the actor's consent to the use of that image and participation. They also, and I think this is interesting, they're also saying no AI-generated scripts, that there has to be a human being involved in the writing of the screenplay for any film that would be considered for an Oscar. And I think that's pretty cool. I agree with that because I think one of the fears I have with AI, and it's probably already happening, is that on a much smaller scale, kind of like the way humans have lost the ability to read a map, I think humans are very quickly going to lose the ability to write because AI does it for you. People are using it already. My wife screams and yells about people who, obviously are using AI to write college papers. People use it to write emails. People use it to write all kinds of stuff. And I think what's going to happen is it's kind of like losing the ability to play a musical instrument, right? At some point, people really just won't know how to do it, how to express themselves in words using their own thoughts. So I don't really give a crap about the Oscars anymore and haven't for some time, but I think that's interesting that they're drawing that line in the sand right now to try to protect jobs within the industry, obviously. But, I'm fine with human beings writing screenplays for a little while longer,
I'm sitting here with a smile on my face because Nancy and I had this discussion Saturday morning, our coffee time.
Right.
And it was all about AI making decisions and you won't have to think anymore. And one of the things that I was bringing up in the conversation was the fact you're going to lose the ability, just as when NCR, National Cash Register, introduced the first modern cash register. People can't make change now because it makes it for you. And even to the point now where nobody uses cash anymore, so there's no change to be made anymore. But, a decade ago, 2 decades ago, nobody really knew how to make change because the machine did it for you. It made the change. It even dispersed the change, the coins, into a little circular thing. You just reached in there and put it in your pocket. AI is going to do the same thing with so many things that humans do right now. We're seeing it, number one, with driving cars. It's driving cars all by itself. There's a lot of other things that AI is going to replace human beings used to do, like make change. NCR took that out about 100 years ago. Now there's going to be even, I think, doctors, you're going to go somewhere, you're going to go to a surgical center, and you're going to have surgery by a robot. I think that's going to happen.
Well, I believe absolutely it's going to happen. The question is it a good thing? Taking over most, because I think ultimately, again, once you really standardize robotics and AI, there's a whole lot of crap humans just aren't going to have to do anymore.
Well, and that's been the thing that Elon, we talked about this Saturday too, the thing that Elon has always said is you better figure out what humans are going to do. And you better figure out how you're going to pay them. He's a big pusher of universal basic income.
Yeah.
Because people will not have to work. They simply will not have to.
Right.
Because AI is going to do all the laborious stuff that we typically take on. And that's one of the reasons I'm pushing trade school, because it's going to be a while before they can take the purple glue and stick 2 pipes together with AI. It's going to be a while.
A little while, I mean,
it's going to happen, but it's going to be longer than anything else.
I did read a Gallup poll that Breitbart put out about that was looking at the creative arts, and thus far they're not really seeing a significant loss in certain kinds of jobs in the creative arts, because that's kind of the big fear, like we talk about all the time. It'll just make AI will make music, it'll make movies, it'll make TV shows. People will be able to make their own content for themselves.
100%.
But so far, they haven't seen a significant loss of jobs. But it's coming, man. It's coming.
As we always say, I'm glad I'm 63 and you're 58.
Yeah, I am, man.
More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA.
My name is Jackie, and after years suffering with high blood pressure, osteoarthritis, chronic stress, and insomnia, it took an unresolved and debilitating digestive issue to finally make the call. I made an appointment with Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. His whole body approach worked to identify the root causes of my unique issues, and he developed a customized plan to restore my health. And with the help of everyone at the Institute for Functional Health, we have. My digestive issues are gone. I no longer take any prescription medications, no longer walk with a cane. My stress is well managed. I'm sleeping 7 hours each night. And bonus, I've lost weight. I'm down to a size 4 from a size 14. Dr. Torres and the entire IFFH team were there to support and encourage me every step of the way. I'm 59 years old. I'm healthier and happier than ever. Dr. Torres has truly changed my life.
I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com.
I get to talk to you about Southwest Metal Roofing Systems, and again, a company I know, I trust. They're the ones I had put on my roof probably 25 years back. Still absolutely beautiful, never had one single problem with it. Called them back and said, hey, would you consider putting a roof on my barn? So this past year, several thousand square feet of roof on my barn. They do all kinds of homes, businesses, outbuildings, and the material they use is true lifetime quality. It's a Galvalume type material, and it simply doesn't rust out or go bad. My roof looks as good as the day they installed it. It truly is a lifetime roof. They give you the best guarantee in the industry. Most insurance companies will give you a discount on your homeowner's insurance. I just love Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. They do the job. They're prompt. They clean up after themselves, and you will truly get the best roof in the industry. Give them a call, 210-822-6868. It's 210-822-6868 for Southwest Metal Roofing Systems.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station. KTSA.
It's 7 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. President Trump's announcing a new strategy in the war against Iran, and it's quite clear Tehran is none too happy about it. Correspondent Dale Gavlak with more.
A British maritime agency reports that a tanker has been hit off the coast of the United Arab Emirates by unidentified projectiles. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations said that a bulk carrier sailing near the coast of Iran reported being attacked by multiple small craft on Sunday. The incidents come as the United States says its forces will begin guiding ships through the Strait of Hormuz today.
We've got the latest on what's happening between the U.S. and Iran on the front page at KTSA.com. 2 people are dead and 10 are hurt after shots were fired at a house party in the Panhandle. Police in Amarillo say 2 teenagers were killed in the shooting early Saturday at an apartment complex. Investigators say adults and juveniles were both at the party. It's believed the 2 suspects were trying to get into that party, but they ended up firing multiple rounds from a rifle. A 16-year-old and a 17-year-old both killed when they were hit. The 2 suspects took off, and they've yet to be found. The man known as America's mayor is now fighting for his life in a Florida hospital.
Rudy Giuliani, former New York City mayor and advisor to President Trump, is in critical but stable condition at a Florida hospital. That's according to a spokesperson who did not say why the 81-year-old was hospitalized. Giuliani earned the nickname America's mayor for helping unite the nation after the September 11 terror attacks, but he became a more divisive figure later after serving as President Trump's personal lawyer. On social media, Trump called Giuliani a warrior.
It's correspondent Heather Bosch. You may have noticed today is May the 4th, so if you see some folks dressed up like Han Solo, Princess Leia, maybe even Chewbacca, well, there's a reason for that.
Today is Star Wars Day, as in May the 4th be with you. It's a big deal for fans of the franchise that almost didn't get made. George Lucas wanted to do a movie on Flash Gordon, but couldn't get the rights, so he wrote Star Wars. And the one studio who wanted the film, 20th Century Fox, thought it was a B movie. Lucky for us, they were all wrong. So celebrate today, watch movies, dress up, host a lightsaber battle, because you can.
That's correspondent Bree Tennis. KTSA News Time 7:02. Rob Thompson stepping in right here, KTSA Sports.
In the NBA, it's game day ball. The Spurs welcome in Minnesota. One new bit of news, Anthony Edwards has now been upgraded to questionable. Tip-off set for 8:30. They're not the only game of the night. The 76ers and Knicks begin their 7-game series after the 76ers dispatched Boston on Saturday. The Tuesday schedule has the Pistons and Cavs and Lakers and Thunder. Finally, in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys have been busy. They've signed 6 of 7 of their draft picks, including number 11 overall pick Caleb Downs. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA Time Saver Traffic and your complete KTSA AccuWeather forecast, both up next on 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Listen up. We are raccoons, and we are a big deal if you haven't already noticed.
Yeah, what he said.
You see, we got these masks. We're like burglars, except we never leave, see?
Permanent maskuses.
You got electrical wires? We like wires. We like to chew on wires and sometimes start fires.
Oh wait, if there's a fire, can we leave?
Hey, pay attention. And we like chewing on AC ducts too.
I like duckies.
Yes. You got a nice attic? We'll set up shop.
Attics make me feel cozy.
Shh. Who's that? It's a van with the man. Uh-oh.
Critter Victor!
Critter Evictor excels at all types of rodent removal because that's all they do. Unlike pest control companies, Critter Evictor specializes in humane animal control and exclusion, which means your unwanted critters ain't getting back in. It's their one-and-done policy, guaranteed for 15 months. So whether you have possums, squirrels, rats, mice, skunks...
I can't take my mask off!
And yes, even raccoons. Call Critter Evictor at 210-906-8910.
It's time to improve your home, slow it down, and do it right. Choose a company worthy of your trust and worthy of your family. For windows, siding, and doors, call or visit southwestexteriors.com. Southwest Exteriors, the look you love coming home to.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install up to 3 tons for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomber from the KTSA Rockin' Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time 7:05. Rush hour ramping up on a Monday. Let's see what's happening with KTSA Time Saver traffic.
Good morning, and heads up on the south side of town, Division at Nogalitos. An accident where a vehicle hit a light pole, so those power lines are now down. Division westbound at Nogalitos. Road work continues. 35 northbound O'Connor to Judson Road. Roadway reduced to one lane. It's causing a 25-minute delay. Northbound 35, that on-ramp from Thousand Oaks, road work blocking the entrance ramp. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
We'll continue to heat up for the first half of the week. It'll be more humid as well with partly sunny skies today, the high of 84. Remaining warm tonight, the low just 69 along the Riverwalk and 66 in Hill Country. Mostly cloudy, warmer on Tuesday with the high up to 88. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 63 degrees, partly cloudy at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
And it's Monday, May 4th. Sun and a few clouds, 85, but rain chances come back Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday in a big way, Sean. Thursday looks like it's going to be a wet
Oh, really?
day. Yeah, Thursday does. So just that's for your week planning as you look out. You know, progress is not always good. And we, in Texas, we have structured it to be a very friendly environment for not only Texans but other people to come in from other states.
Right.
And we've seen it in the massive amount of growth that's been going on in our state. It's been incredible because our taxes are fairly low. Now, we do have high property taxes, but we don't have a state income tax.
Right.
Business tax, it's a very friendly business environment to do business in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
So people realize that. And when other states, such as a New York, as an example, or a California, as another example, become very unfriendly, and every day they're becoming even more so, then a place like Texas becomes much more appealing, and so people move. And that's what's happening and been happening here for the past few decades in Texas, but really the past 2 decades has been a strong push to get as many people in Texas as possible. And we're paying for it in infrastructure, right? Because we don't have the road capacity to carry all the vehicles that are here now, and that's why they're expanding. But even when they're done with these projects, they're still going to be light years behind. Water is a major issue. And then little towns are not little towns anymore, and I kind of, I don't like that. I like little towns being little towns, and I know you can't always hang on to it. I'm not one of these old men that try to hang on to the past. But I have fond memories, as it were, of New Braunfels. New Braunfels being a place where you could go and very little traffic, so it was not an issue. Crime was almost nil. And you didn't feel like you were, in a place that was so hurried and harried, like craziness, just this busyness going on. And New Braunfels is that now totally. And they've got a big water problem up there as well. It was always the place where you would relax at the Comal, or you would relax on the Guadalupe, or you would relax at Canyon Lake and listen to the music at Green Hall and all live music and all that.
I've noticed a difference just in the 15, 16 years I've been here.
Oh, for sure.
Because when I first moved here, I lived in that area, and I went to New Braunfels quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And you compare and contrast how easy it was to get around New Braunfels at that time, just 15 years ago, and what it is now. It's observably different. I mean, it's, a lot of development, a lot of people moving in, man.
And I go back to the early 70s when my grandparents moved in there, and they moved into a place off of 725. It was one of the first trailer parks up there. They bought a little single wide and in their retirement years. And right there where all the Bluebonnet dealerships are on 35 at 725, none of that existed. That was open field. There was one restaurant there called the Hungry Hobo. And that
Hungry Hobo.
And that was it. And then you had, of course, all the Land Park stuff, but that was on the other side of 35. But it was not congested and crazy and all that like it is now.
Right.
So with all that comes, of course, the problems of being a big city, which includes crime.
Right.
And for the past couple of weekends, they've had major shootings in there. This past weekend on Saturday night, Sunday morning early, about 12:30, they had a drive-by shooting in downtown New Braunfels, and you just go, New Braunfels?
That's
drive-by
crazy.
shooting?
That's crazy.
And apparently a couple of guys had been tangled in something on the downtown streets, and one of the guys got in a car, allegedly 25-year-old Josiah Arevalo, got in a car and started shooting, and he shot 3 people allegedly. And those 3 people are in stable condition right now, 2 guys and a girl. One of them, the girl, I believe, was an innocent bystander who was just down there.
Right.
And that's the problem, is because New Braunfels has always been a place where you go and you hang out outside, and you go to, we called it Stinky Falls, the tube chute there at Tacoma, and all of those kinds of places. And you never really had to worry about whether or not you go and get shot as a bystander. It never crossed your mind in a place like New Braunfels you were going to get shot. You know what I mean?
No. Again, like I said, when I used to hang out there, it was a pretty placid place. I mean, it wasn't a lot of activity. You weren't thinking they're going to get shot in a drive-by.
Interesting you use that word because they have a lake there named that.
Well,
and Dunlap, too.
If the local news stations, the TV stations, do their homework, they're going to find that there has been a rise in TDA activity in the New Braunfels area.
Tres de Agua?
Yeah, I imagine.
Well,
I imagine that's where they go to towns like that where you don't expect them to be because they figure there's not not as much law enforcement opposition as they would have in a place like San Antonio. Yeah. So they go to the small towns.
Branched out to New Braunfels, Seguin.
Wow. That's a shame.
Yeah,
you kind of expect it in a city like San Antonio, the size of San Antonio, and you would expect that to happen. But in a place like New Braunfels, well, Jimmy, you're used to the live music scene,
that was Sangerfest Saturday.
It sure was.
And I'm watching a video of a girl who was eyewitness to there and everything. And, just 2 guys started to jump one dude, and they took off and towards the courthouse, and then she heard shot.
Oh, so I'm sorry, I didn't lay that out well enough. It was in the town square by the courthouse. It was right there in downtown.
Right. Yeah.
So right off of Seguin and San Antonio, where Seguin and San Antonio Street are.
So Sangerfest wrapped up around 11, I think is when it's done. Cody Canada was playing the 8 o'clock slot Saturday night, and then this happened around the time you said. So,
12:30.
Yeah.
Wow, man. New Braunfels.
There's the Fost Hotel down there. There's a lot of bed and breakfasts on that, just on the Eaglin's Bakery.
Well, there's homes there. There's businesses like crazy all over that area where people would be coming and going. And you mentioned the Faust Hotel. We used to go there when I was a kid to have on Sunday brunch with my grandparents after church and in the basement of the Faust. Always great stuff. Kind of grew up in that area because of Landa Park. Spent a lot of time on that train and swimming.
I took Marissa to Landa Park almost every weekend.
Yeah.
Till she was like 16.
Right.
Yeah, the locals are saying this was gang violence. This wasn't local people.
I can believe that, but again, last week they had one as well. So it's when I talked about this, more and more people have been sending me notes about, oh no, this has been going on up there. This is a problem.
Listen to what you just said. There's gang violence in New Braunfels.
There's gangs
right?
in New Braunfels now.
Right?
I believe
bad.
A couple of years ago, they caught one of the top TDAs in New Braunfels at a taqueria.
Wow.
Like right where the car, right off of 35, you know, where they have the Randolph Brooks and all of that other stuff and those little Mexican restaurants.
I was there.
Wow.
Okay, well, there you go. And it's kind of disappointing, obviously, because, I mean, you're close to Helotes, all right? And it would be like gang violence, TDA breaking out in Helotes of all places. Come on.
Yeah, we went to Cornyval yesterday. You know, it's great. It's a great weekend in Helotes. You know, it's a big festival weekend. It's kind of like our little mini fiesta. But, yeah, that would be like a drive-by shooting, you know, in Old Town Helotes. I mean, but that's what you're seeing across the country since they opened up the border. During the Biden years, is you see a lot of these small towns have been infected by gang stuff and stuff they never had before.
Well, I think it's because the border was open, but also we're having such a huge influx of people moving in that you have that wherever you have a population explosion, no matter where it's coming from.
We had that. I saw that in the suburbs of Denver.
Right.
Same thing happened.
If I was a gang member, I would go to a small town with a small police force
Yeah.
to start my operation.
Exactly.
Well,
absolutely.
And maybe that's what they're doing.
They're in Seguin and they're in New Braunfels.
Well, they just elected a new mayor on Saturday, Mr. French, Mayor-elect French, and we'll see if he's going to be able to clean things up. I understand he's a little more conservative than the last one. I don't know this, but I don't know him at all. But that's what I've been reading about the guy, so hopefully he's going to take a little bit harder line against this and maybe get it under control. Because I love so much about it. I love Sleederbond. I love Pat's Place Restaurant. That crew up there, just some of the greatest people in the world. I have a big affinity for Buc-ee's, all that stuff. And, that's just a beautiful place. And I hate to see it destroyed with these drive-by shootings and this nonsense that's going on.
Well, that part of the world's always going to have a special place in my heart because that's where I first lived when I first came here. The first year and a half, almost 2 years. But, yeah, man, things do change and rather quickly these days.
Well,
it's a shame.
Hopefully they'll get it under control.
Yeah.
Okay, Bridgehead IT, we talk a lot about AI on this show, and you have to because AI is the future of humanity, and you got to be, if you're in business, you've got to master it. You don't have a choice. If you don't master AI, you'll be out of business. And so our friends at Bridgehead AI are ready, or Bridgehead IT are ready to help you do exactly that. Now, you can mess it up if you don't know what you're doing and cause a lot of security breaches for your company, loss income, wasted capital, and compliance nightmares if you don't do it right from the get-go. And that's what Bridgehead IT can do for you. They get you an AI readiness assessment to find out exactly where you are with your company and AI, okay? Then they come up with a strategy. And here, by the way, they're not going to try to sell you something that's a shiny AI project that's going on now or some bot out there. That's not their job. Their job is not to sell you anything like that. Their job is to come up with AI solutions for your company to help your company thrive into the future. Again, if you're not on top of this, if you're not leading this, if you're not out in front of this, your business is going to be in jeopardy. So I want you to get in touch with my friends at Bridgehead IT and get this AI readiness assessment. It's a wonderful group of people over there that I've known for years. Wes Bunch and his team are dedicated to the success of your business every single day. Get the AI readiness assessment from Bridgehead IT at bridgeheadit.com. Monday, May 4th, sun and a few clouds, high of 85 today. The rain chances return Wednesday through Saturday of this week. 63 right now, KTSA.
Good morning. Still dealing with that trouble spot on the south side of Division at Nogalitos. An accident where a vehicle hit a light pole. Those power lines still down. Road work continues 35 northbound O'Connor to Judson. That's got the roadway reduced to one lane. Just that left lane is open, and it is about a 25-minute delay. Stop and go from Walsham. On northbound 35, that on-ramp from Thousand Oaks, road work blocks the entrance ramp. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
The headlines the others miss. From Texas to the nation and around the world. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Ponderosa Ranch, your pup is our priority. Boarding, training, daycare, and bathing, we treat your dog like family. With 3 area locations, Ponderosa Ranch can't wait to be your pup's home away from home. Book their next day or stay with us at weloveyourdog.net.
Well, we know the benefits of having great hearing aids and being able to hear well. That's exactly why I've been telling you now for a long time about Hear, H-E-A-R, here in Texas. But did you also know there are problems with health that are associated often with poor hearing? Things like balance issues and early onset dementia. If you or somebody that you know suffers from hearing loss, as I do, I want you to see Hear in Texas. Simply the best. They will do a complete evaluation of your hearing to find out what's going on so they can prescribe for you the right fix that's for you. You see, there's no cookie cutter approach with the team at Hear in Texas. They are a team of hearing specialists and they're ready to work for you today. They accept TRICARE and other insurance as well, and they have a wonderful subscription service. So when the technology updates, as it does frequently, you just get a brand new pair of hearing aids. Find out more today by logging on at Hear in Texas, H-E-A-R, HearInTX.com. Have your hearing tested today at the best in Texas. That's Hear in Texas, H-E-A-R, HearInTX.com.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. This morning starting at 11 on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Just heard from somebody who's police affiliated and said the shooter in New Braunfels had 6 prior arrests and is from New Braunfels. So
really?
Not an immigrant from...
Not a TDA guy. Well, here's another interesting story off the crime blotter. We have an Alabama U student who beats up his ex-girlfriend. His apartment. He's a 19-year-old guy, Ryan Della Franco. 20-year-old guy, actually. Beats up his 19-year-old ex-girlfriend. And the New York Post originally published this story, and it was pretty bad. He was slamming her head, allegedly, into a toilet, choking her. And she was able to get away from him. And I guess she told her dad at some point, and her dad is in New York, University of Alabama, Long Island. He's a former I don't know if he's active or if he's retired. He's a Long Island cop. Dude gets into his car, drives to Alabama, shows up on this dude's front porch, and I guess they had some words. And both the Alabama student who beat up his girlfriend, I believe he got arrested, and dad got arrested too for making threats. But think about that for a second. He hears that his daughter is being, messed around with by this guy. He gets into a car and he drives to Alabama and he shows up on the porch the next day, baby.
Well, let's fill in the gaps because there's a reason he did that.
Oh yeah.
When she called 911.
Yeah.
They sent the police out and they did not arrest the guy. Now,
not at first, no.
Not at first. They allowed him. They were going to let him walk. After he allegedly banged her head in the toilet and choked her.
Yeah.
So after the cops let him walk, that's when she called Daddy. And she said, "You're not going to believe what happened here." And the cops are allowing him to walk on this deal. And Daddy said, "I'll be there tomorrow." So he got in the car and got down there to Alabama as quick as he could. And he went to the front porch and told the kid, "If you ever touch my daughter again, I'm going to whip your ass so bad you won't see next Tuesday."
And allegedly, another part of the story is he was apparently selling videos of her or
let's get into that.
Nature.
Let's get into that part of the story, too.
They were taking video, and he was apparently selling it.
Let's get into that because, he was supposedly taking video of their sex together and selling it to porn sites without her okay with it.
Right.
So this cat, this 20-year-old dude, is facing a lot. If they decide to charge him with all this stuff, he's facing a lot of criminal stuff. And boy, should he!
Oh yeah.
You grab a man's daughter and shove her head in the toilet and choke her after you have been selling porn videos without her okay.
Dad's like the last person you want to see, man.
Well, he's damn lucky Dad didn't kill him.
Right, because Dad got into his car, just drove down there, man, and he was there the next day. And they said both stories I read said this kid was petrified when the old man showed up, and he should have been.
Yeah.
And it's a shame he had to go to that length, but still, it's mystifying why this happened initially, and they didn't arrest him at that time when she was saying he just beat me up. he was allegedly, again, slamming her head into a toilet, and nothing happened. But that's kind of, I guess, where the justice system is right now, isn't it? In that we let a lot of people go who shouldn't be let go. And what do? They do more messed up stuff. So I'm glad it had a happy resolution, even though Dad's facing some charges, some threatening charges.
Well, and that's wrong.
You know.
What's wrong? Well, let Dad go, because what is a father supposed to do if the cops aren't doing something about it?
Right.
Then, Daddy, that's a dad's job.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
But do you think? I don't think he's gonna. Whatever happens, he's gonna face anything serious. I would hope not.
Now, his saving grace is it's Alabama. If this was California, Oregon, or Washington State, Dad would go to prison for 100 years, and the attacker would be given a prize.
Yes, you're right. If this were in any seriously blue state, Dad would be a violent domestic terrorist, probably, right?
Yeah.
And the guy shooting the movies would be the oppressed victim of an irate father, but it didn't work out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was reading that story, and it kind of got me how my man just got into a car and went down there.
Well, can't blame him at all.
I don't blame him at all. I don't blame him for that at all. Beyond that, we're still kind of following what's going on with Operation Freedom and whether or not our ships have been fired on or not. Are we getting conflicting information now?
We started the show with a report from Sky News, and they were quoting the Fars news agency, which is the Iranian news agency,
right,
that they had hit a ship, but they had not been able to confirm it.
Right.
So then I had the tweet from CENTCOM just 30 minutes or so ago that said, no, we have not been hit by Iran. Any report of that says our ship has been hit is absolutely false.
I tend to believe CENTCOM, too.
Well, plus it has not appeared anywhere else.
Right,
other than Sky News. So, and Sky did say, I mean, to their credit, they did say this is a Fars news agency, so, they could be full of it.
Right.
So, I don't know. We'll find out. I would think if one of our ships was hit at, a little before 6 a.m. our time, coming up on 2 hours, we would probably have heard something from one of the news agencies.
There'd be some kind of confirmation.
You would think.
Maybe from the government itself. Maybe from the Trump administration itself.
Maybe so.
We're talking about Operation Freedom, which is Trump announced this over the weekend. He's going to be sending ships in to escort some of these vessels out of the strait who have been sitting there for weeks. These are vessels that are not connected to Iran. These are international vessels that are just trapped there, and we're going to be leading them out. And we had heard right before we went on the air, because Iran, for its part, had said it won't be interfered with controlling the strait, and we had heard something that said the Iranians had fired upon one of our vessels. But again, thus far, that has not been confirmed. In fact, CENTCOM is saying the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are.
The neutral ships and, neutral ships from neutral countries. And Iran had said that would be a violation of the ceasefire if we were to start doing that.
And we have, apparently.
And apparently we've already started that, and we'll see where it all goes. All right, we'll take a quick break. More Ware and Rima coming up. I want to say about my friends over at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. If you've noticed that your AC is smelling a little musty and dusty, need to get in touch with Quarter Moon right away, because they've got a great special for you right now. It's called the Breathe Easy Package. Because not only does it stink sometimes, but it can cause some allergen problems as well. If you're susceptible to allergies, this might be something that'll help you out a lot. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, what they do with the Breathe Easy package, they pull out everything basically out of your system, okay? They take the blower wheel, the blower motor, the housing, all of that stuff, and they clean it really, really well to get all those dust mites and everything else off of that. Then they clean the coil. They disinfect the inside of the AC cabinet. Then they install, and these things are really great. I have one in mind, one of these UV lights. And it zaps bacteria and other nasty stuff that can hide in that unit due to all the humidity that can flow through there on a regular basis, particularly our AC systems here in South Texas. Cleans it out. So it is a noticeable difference. Now, you're living in your home day by day. You may not notice that musty smell, but people who visit you, they certainly do. But where you do notice it is in the itchy, burny, watery eyes and the nose that won't stop running. So get in touch with Quarter Moon today for all of your AC and plumbing needs, no matter what it is, and ask about the Breathe Easy package from Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
Ware and Rima, on air and online every morning.
And actually, they become hot as a pistol, so what can I tell you?
Watch the show weekday morning 6 till 10, only on KTSA
KTSA.com.
So last Wednesday when I was up at the New Braunfels Center for the 55-plus gathering up there, a couple people asked me about Nightly Insurance Group. It's very important to get Medicare right. But if you try to do that on your own, you can make a whole lot of mistakes, and I know of which I speak because Nancy and I helped my dad with his Medicare choices years ago when he was entering into that world. And, man, it's so confusing. And they tend to change the laws, and if you're not like up to speed on all the laws minute by minute, you can like really screw this up. So I want you to know about Nick Knightley at Knightley Insurance Group, KnightlyInsuranceGroup.com, Knightley with a K. We had somebody call the radio station, want to know who this was. Well, I can tell you, with Knightley Insurance Group, you don't have to worry about making those Medicare choices because they take their time to look at your doctors, at your prescriptions, make sure you understand the differences between Medicare Advantage and Medicare supplements and so on and so forth. Without any confusion, without any pressure. I'm talking about clear, honest guidance. And when you call, you're talking to somebody from Knightley Insurance Group here. Not somebody in India, not somebody in Bangladesh, somebody right here who can help you make those decisions that are right for you and for your family when it comes to Medicare. And you know what? It doesn't cost you anything. They're a broker, and they will not charge you for their services. So when it's time for you to get Medicare right, go to our friends at Knightley Insurance Group, Knightley with a K, KnightlyInsuranceGroup.com.
I get to talk to you about Southwest Metal Roofing Systems, and again, a company I know, I trust. They're the ones I had put on my roof probably 25 years back. Still absolutely beautiful, never had one single problem with it. Called them back and said, hey, would you consider putting a roof on my barn? So this past year, several thousand square feet of roof on my barn. They do all kinds of homes, businesses, outbuildings, and the material they use is true lifetime quality. It's a Galvalume type material, and it simply doesn't rust out or go bad. My roof looks as good as the day they installed it. It truly is a lifetime roof. They give you the best guarantee in the industry. Most insurance companies will give you a discount on your homeowner's insurance. I just love Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. They do the job. They're prompt. They clean up after themselves, and you will truly get the best roof in the industry. Give them a call, 210-822-6868. It's 210-822-6868 for Southwest Metal Roofing Systems.
Running a small business is a big deal with big decisions. Website design? Big. Hiring and training? Really big. Choosing Texacare? Healthcare coverage backed by Texas Mutual? Actually, that's an easy one. They offer health benefit plans with more than one no copay visit to your doctor a year. They offer 4 visits per member per year to 6 different provider types. Learn more at Texacare.com. Take care, Texas.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars. People don't trust car buyers. People think the price is going to be wrong, and people think it's going to be a hassle. Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is what we do at GiveMeTheVin.com, and that's what makes us America's best car buyer. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com right now and get a quote on yours.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
Iranian media says a U.S. naval vessel's been hit in the Strait of Hormuz, but U.S. Central Command says that's not the case. A jetliner flying too low, taking the blame for a light pole knockdown and a truck driver hit in New Jersey. And if you see people engaging in lightsaber fights today, there is a reason for that. We'll see what's happening on the way at 8 o'clock. KTSA News Time, 7:33.
Good morning. Got some road work could possibly slow you down. This report sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. 35 northbound between O'Connor to Judson. The roadway is reduced to 1 lane, just that left lane open. Northbound 35, the on-ramp from Thousand Oaks. Roadwork blocks the entrance ramp. On I-10 frontage road westbound 1604, got a disabled vehicle that's blocking the left U-turn lane. And Division at Nogalitos still have a right lane taken away where a vehicle hit a light pole and those power lines are still down. It's time to say good night to that check engine light with a free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
partly sunny to kick off the week. It'll be warm today with the high of 84. Breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy and humid. The low just 69 along the Riverwalk and 66 in Hill Country. Mostly cloudy, warmer and humid on Tuesday with the high of 88. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterino with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 63 degrees, partly cloudy skies at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
And we are Ware and Rima here at KTSA. So what an exciting day it was on Saturday. Golden Tempo came from last to first, 23-1 odds.
Wow.
And won the Kentucky Derby. That is the voice of the female trainer, Sherry DeVoe. Oh, my God.
Wow.
I can't tell you how many times I have watched this over and over again. It's on my X account at Trey Ware Show. Second woman to ever win a Triple Crown event, Jenna Anatucci, won the 23 Belmont Stakes. First woman to ever win the Kentucky Derby. Okay?
Right.
And this horse is amazing. I also put up a couple of videos of her sharing time with Golden Tempo on Sunday morning, and those two are in love. I'm telling you right now, that horse loves her with all of his heart, and
right.
She loves him. When you see this moment of them sharing together, he's latched onto her hand, and he
Wow.
will not let go of her hand. And boy, what a big moment that was! Just
Marissa went to Retama, and she was betting on the races.
Did she
And
win off of this horse?
No,
Well,
I gave
nobody
her my
did.
top
So nobody-
three. She put $10 on a trifecta: Renegade, the top three favorites, Commandment, and then there was another one. But no.
Okay, so this was one of the biggest payouts in Derby history. A $1 superfecta, which is picking the first 1, 2, 3, 4 horses, paid $94,000 on a $1
Good Lord.
bet.
Good Lord.
And the reason is partly because of 23-1, but the horse that finished third was 70-1, and that's what bumped the money
Oh,
up.
wow.
And nobody hit anything on the Derby because of those long shots getting in the top three. Nothing.
Wow.
So you're ready
I love
for
it when long shots win.
My buddy
I
won.
love it.
My buddy lost $2,400 on that one race.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
So are you ready for a little more human interest out of this?
Sure.
Not only the first female to win the Kentucky Derby and the
Female
second
Trainer. Yeah.
Female trainer. Yeah.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Well,
when-
there's
when I
female
said-
jockeys.
Yeah, but this girl, she
Well-
can't get on a horse. She's kind of a biggin.
Jimmy.
He's a biggin. She's too big to be on that horse.
Trump is going to fix that, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So,
Are you gonna talk about the Ortiz brothers?
no, yes, that's where I'm headed.
All right.
The two brothers the Ortiz brothers are the jockeys, and one of them was winning, and he was going to win the Kentucky Derby. But his little snot-nosed little brother came up on the outside on Golden Tempo and passed him. It was a photo finish because it was just barely by a little nostril hair.
Right.
That he was able to beat his brother. I mean,
You think Big Brother let Little Brother win, though?
No,
not at all.
He was.
No,
if you saw him afterwards, he was very upset.
He gave him a hug while they were on the horses.
But he was almost inconsolable.
Well, you lose.
One of the guys had to come over and hold him because he just lost the Kentucky Derby. and if you're going to lose to somebody, lose to your brother.
There's a big jockey bonus, so he lost money too. He got paid.
really?
Yeah, he got paid to ride the horse, and then when you win it, you get another bonus on top. But the Irad Ortiz, the older brother, and Jose, the one who won it, the younger brother,
it's just amazing.
They're two of the best riders in the game by far.
Really?
By far.
I find it fascinating. I mean, I've done a little horseback ride. I've never been at full gallop on a horse. I've just done a little trail riding. So the idea of being on an animal going that fast is amazing to me.
They're super tall.
Man, yeah, they're big
I was telling
critters.
Marissa when I worked at Retama, you'd go and see them in the paddock area. They were huge, and oh my gosh, the trainers are just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
All the riders are fantastic. They're all about 90 pounds, 4'11". I
Huh?
hate them.
You hate them because you're 4'11" and 89 pounds.
Tiny little people.
tiny.
They get up on these big animals, man, and they go extraordinarily fast. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
to
they
me.
have to put weights on some of the jockeys because they don't weigh.
fly
they
off?
don't. No, they don't weigh enough.
He's right.
Yeah, they put little bars in their back.
Wow.
Like a fanny pack or something.
It's amazing to watch these guys and watch them train and all that kind
Right.
of stuff. And if you've ever ridden a horse, you realize that it's not easy.
No.
What they do is not easy.
No, not at all.
And you have to have a symbiotic relationship with your animal. You have
Sure.
to be one and the same. It's got to be. You have to be simpatico with that animal.
You're a unit, man. You really are.
Oh man.
And Elaine and I were talking about this the other week. You know, we watch all these shows on Saturdays. I love watching the old westerns. It's kind of a tradition. And you look at those old shows and realize every single one of those actors, even the kids, had to know how to ride really well because there's no special effects. They hop up on these animals and they ride offset or they ride into a shot. And I just think it's fascinating. Like, I don't know that I could ever, go really fast on a horse, but I respect people who do. It's
I
amazing.
have a fear of
It's fun.
heights. That's what I don't understand with the little jockeys.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah,
you're up there.
when you're up
When you're
there,
sitting on a horse,
and
you're
they're
up there
so
pretty
tall.
high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fear of heights.
You guys, y'all are making me laugh.
Wow.
16 hands high. Boy, you're way up there in the sky. Hold on tight. You fall down, you go boom. And it's true. If that horse doesn't like you or you're having a conflict that day, if that horse doesn't want to be ridden that day,
Right.
he or she can make things very interesting.
I imagine they can.
And not
I
much
imagine.
fun. So here's what Trump is doing to help people get thinner. GLP-1 medications that people use to lose weight, but it started out people using them for diabetes.
Right.
Then what we found out was that they are so advantageous in a lot of other areas. Things like kidney disease and kidney function can or has been improved. In some instances, people using GLP-1, lung function in some people have been improved by them using GLP-1. So it's been amazing to watch what these things could do for people. And then, of course, the big one is the insulin resistance, which makes you feel full so you don't eat as much, right? And so people have really, the big blast with these things in the past, 4 or 5 years has been weight loss, and people have lost an incredible amount of weight, which has started an entire other industry in proteins because you lose a lot of muscle mass, and so now everything you see at the store is protein-based. Even protein-based Saturday morning keto cereals made out of lots of high protein because these GLP-1s are costing a lot of muscle mass.
Right.
But here's what the president is doing. Soon, July 1st, instead of costing you $2,300 a month if you're on Medicare, it's going to cost you $50.
Wow. That's great. That's
Donald
You'll
Trump.
notice that. That's Donald Trump. Yeah.
From
We'll get on that.
$2,300 a month to $50 a month.
That's quite a change.
If you're on Medicare and you are ready to start your weight loss journey,
Right.
and there's no question that these things are effective. Now, they don't work the same speed for everybody, and some people they work a little bit better than others, and all that kind of
and
stuff.
there's a difference in Wegovy and.
Oh, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference. If you look at Wegovy as like you're talking about as an example, it does one particular thing in the body with insulin resistance, but you got tirzepatide out there that does attacks two separate receptors.
I'm considering it.
Are you?
Really?
Yeah, I am.
Well, I've seen people that have taken it, and they have had tremendous success with it. But again, the protein and the workout part is a major part of this because then what happens is if you start losing the muscle mass, you start looking really old. You get to what's called old face, where it caves in and all.
Drawn skin.
Yeah, you look a little gaunt and drawn. Yeah.
Right. Well, with me, I don't need the drugs. I just need to exercise a little more and not eat so much crap. I did nothing but eat crap all weekend. And but I do appreciate that he is bringing drug costs down just in general.
Yeah.
I've noticed that just with all the stuff that I got to take, just the prices are a lot better.
Now, with my situation, I'd have to go to TrumpRx.com to get a reduction in
Fair
price.
enough.
And it's very, very.
Since we're talking about this, let me play another piece of sound real quick. Because this is Dr. Phil when they were at the Villages on Friday. And one of the things that Dr. Phil said, Donald Trump is standing right next to him. I'll explain this after you listen. Listen to Dr. Phil here.
That your benefits were never supposed to be taxed to begin with. That was the deal the American government made with the American people. And from 1935 until 1983, that was the deal. And then they changed the deal. That wasn't what you started with. That wasn't the deal. And President Trump is trying to bring the deal back and say you can trust your government to do what they tell you they will do.
Wow.
So what he's talking about is when they came with the income tax and everything else and Social Security, it was not supposed to be taxed.
Right.
Your benefits, no matter what they were coming from the government, they weren't supposed to put a tax on top of that. And the government said, we'll never tax it. Well, bullcrap. That's the government. So you knew that they were going to tax it, and they were going to go exorbitant on it. And from 1935 until 1983, they did not tax all of these benefits. Well, now they have found that, hey, we can retax and in fact, he mentions tax on top of a tax. Listen to this. Because he goes into how some of these things are triple taxed, quadruple taxed on top of a tax and a tax on a tax.
President Trump is fighting to restore trust between Americans and the government. And he's trying to right a wrong here. One of the things that President Trump does is he tries to solve problems that nobody else is even working on.
Mm-hmm. Like
They're
Iran.
not even working on this stuff, and he's solving those problems.
So you're talking about prescription drug costs,
Right.
okay? They're coming down. He's solving those problems. He's solving Iran, and he's solving this problem here of your benefits that you get, that you paid for. You already paid for your Social Security. It was already a tax, and now they tax you on your tax.
Double tax. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, absolutely.
So he's getting that stopped as well. So a lot of great things are happening. It's just, the word just doesn't get out there like it should.
Well, he's a problem solver. It's what he does. But, again, the opposition is largely populated by stupid people, so it really doesn't matter, how many times you tell them how great this stuff is. It's Trump, so they got to hate him.
Yeah, that's
Trump,
right.
they got to hate him.
Well, quick break. More Ware and Rima coming up. A bathroom remodeling is not just about the look. It's about comfort. It's about safety. It's about all of that. And your friends at New Bath Today are ready to get you a complete bathroom remodel that's going to look fantastic and be safe for you. Now, New Bath Today is safe showers and bath-wise. They have combined forces with New Bath Today to get you more and more and more when it comes to, well, things like a safer shower, tub-to-shower conversions, walk-in tubs, safety upgrades, beautiful floors, beautiful vanities. I could go on and on and on. All the offerings they have to get you a whole new bathroom that's going to look great. You don't have to do the entire bathroom. You can do it piecemeal if you want, however you want to do it. That's called New Bath Today, whether you just want a safer shower or a total bathroom refresh. You get quality products, you get expert installation, and a smoother experience start to finish. And right now, $1,500 off your brand new shower, plus low monthly payments when you mention Trey Ware when you log on to their website. Real simple to get a free, no-obligation quote in-home. They'll come to you. They won't charge you for the quote, and there's no obligation whatsoever from New Bath Today. Log on to the website and start to experience the difference at newbathtoday.com. Sun and a few clouds around, high of 85 today. Rain chances return Wednesday through Saturday of this week. Right now, 63 KTSA.
Good morning. Still dealing with that trouble spot on the south side. This report sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance. Division at Nogalitos, a vehicle hit a light pole, so we've got some down power lines. So right lane is blocked. I-10 frontage road westbound at 1604, that's a disabled vehicle. It's blocking that left U-turn lane. And on 35 northbound, that on-ramp from Thousand Oaks, that is blocked with some road work. If you have questions about youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA builds better athletes, better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system,
She keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Trey Ware for Dr. Sally and everybody at Here in Texas. They'd love to see you, talk with you about your hearing, and possibly prescribe hearing aids for you to help you hear things you've never heard before. They really are amazing at Here, H-E-A-R, HereInTX.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
My name is Tino, and I want to tell you about the Institute for Functional Health. I met Dr. Torres not long ago. I was overweight, my joints were inflamed, and I was in constant pain. I had visited doctors before, but lost all hope because the treatment options were all the same. Surgery or a bunch of prescribed medications I did not want to take. I called the Institute for Functional Health to set an appointment with Dr. Torres. Over the next few weeks, Dr. Torres changed my life. I've lost 30 pounds, have more energy than ever before, no pain, and my labs are perfect. Even my former doctors cannot believe it. I am now 61 and feel like I am 31 thanks to Dr. Torres and his staff. I feel incredible. The results were so good, my wife called the Institute for Functional Health. Dr. Torres has totally changed our lives.
Call Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. 468-1891. That's 468-1891 for the Institute for Functional Health.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Hi, this is Bob Webster from my friends at Tanks a Lot out in Bernie. Rainwater is very special. It's naturally pure. It has no hardness to it. It's free of all those chemicals they put in city water. Call my friends at Tanks a Lot in Bernie to learn how to collect it. 830-331-7330.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
7:52 at KTSA. I love the Babylon Bee. Another one this morning. I just shared it to my X account. Noah's starting to think that the woodpeckers were a bad idea. Shouldn't have brought those along.
That's funny.
Let's go to Carl Eggers, creatingricherlives.com, as we look ahead to the weekend money. What's going on this week, Carl?
Good morning, Trey. Well, it's official. This is the fastest market recovery ever for the S&P 500 when it fell over 10%. So, we had that 10% correction, obviously, during the war, and the market's fully recovered. It only took it basically 11 days to get all of that loss back. And so we were up over 10% for the month of April. I think it was the best April ever for the S&P 500. So just a dramatic recovery from where we were just a couple of months ago. The other thing is 23 of the past 25 times that the S&P was up more than 5% going into May. So the first 4 months of the year, the rest of the year was higher. So statistically, when you have this strong of a first, 4 months of the year, markets typically continue on for the rest of the year. So that's all fantastic. We have really a tailwind right now. I would say there's a few negatives. Obviously, the market's a bit extended. It rallied pretty hard. We have a new Fed chair coming in. You typically see the market, usually struggle a little bit when there's a change at the helm and just kind of get used to who that person is, what they're going to do. So you could see a little bit of choppiness. But again, this is, even though the market's run, I wouldn't bet against the market. I would be patient. And if you're somebody that's saying, I missed it or I got out, how do I get back in? I think being very strategic and averaging in over time, that makes a lot of sense. And also, one last thing, Trey, we do have a jobs report this Friday. So again, that's going to set the tone to see, what's going on in the jobs market. I'm hearing a lot of people saying, hey, the job I was looking for, they're telling me that they're putting it on pause right now. And I think a lot of people trying to figure out how AI really impacts the job market overall.
Carl Eggers, CreatingRicherLives.com.
I didn't even realize this until I heard Christian Blood reporting on this, that today is the 4th of May, which means it's May the 4th day. May the 4th be with you day. This is a day when Star Wars nerds across this great country and indeed around the world, Trey, celebrate all things Star Wars.
Harrison Ford posted that.
Did he? Harrison Ford posted, May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Well, it's been very good to him.
Yeah.
He's done quite well off the Star Wars franchise, though he appears to despise it. And I don't care. I was a Star Trek guy. Star Wars, if we're going to nerd out, Star Wars was only really good for 2 movies, okay? The first 2 movies were great. And then once the Muppets came into it, with Return of the Jedi, it got bad. The new movies were horrible. The ones that you and I went to a premiere several years ago, I believe Tequila Sunrises were involved. And it was a really bad movie. It was just the Force takes a nap or wakes up from a nap or something like that. Whatever it was.
Don't remember it all that much.
I don't either.
Yeah.
The only thing Star Wars did, again, was the first one, The Empire Strikes Back, which I still maintain is the best Star Wars movie ever, and the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. Everything else has sucked, man.
So that's for you. It sucked for you.
Yes, everything else sucked. The Return of the Jedi sucked.
Good. I'm glad you didn't enjoy it.
I didn't. The new movies sucked. Both sets of new movies sucked.
You think Return of the Jedi sucked?
Return of the Jedi with the Muppets, the Ewoks. Oh, come on, man.
But you had Jabba the Hutt.
You had Jabba the Hutt, but you had a bunch of Muppets, Ewoks running around. They look like teddy bears, man.
Christian,
they look like a Build-A-Bear in space.
He hasn't even seen Rogue One.
No,
I haven't seen Rogue One.
And
I don't want to see Rogue One.
It's better than all of the Star Wars movies.
This is true.
Star Trek is the thinking man's science fiction show.
The what?
The thinking man's science fiction show.
The Force doesn't require you to think, though.
I know that. That's why they're such stupid movies. I'm just saying.
Oh, Lord.
You following along, Trey?
I'm following everything.
Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
I agree with you on Star Trek. I've always been a Star Trek guy.
I was a huge Star Trek fan.
1966. I was loving it.
I was watching Star Trek on memory television Saturday night. They show it at like 10 o'clock every Saturday night, the original series.
I had the models.
The models, the little Star Trek models.
You could go to the model store, like you could build a model out of a car out of a model, and they had the tricorder, the phaser, and the communicator model. You would glue them together with that Rebel glue and play with that stuff all day. I had those. Did you have that too?
I built a model airplane of the Enterprise.
Oh, cool! Yeah, they could do that too.
They had those. I remember.
I just want to point out the first Star Trek movie in 1980. I went to go see it. I fell asleep.
It was horrible. It was boring as crap. They got it. I mean, my dad took me to see it, and it was really a dull movie.
Is that the one where they launched Spock into in his coffin into the planet? Is that the one?
No, that was the sequel. That was the sequel was great. Wrath of Khan was a great movie. The first
Wrath of Khan was good.
The first movie was way too much like the series, and it was just boring.
Well, May the Force be with you. Is that the deal?
May the 4th. May the 4th.
Okay. All right. We'll take a quick break. More Ware and Rima at 8:05 KTSA.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This is Bob Webster, and I tell you what, I really made a discovery, I feel like, last week. I'd heard about Just Pots for a long time. You've heard their ads here on the show, but I went by to see them. And let me tell you, I've been in the nursery business most of my life. I've visited manufacturers of pots. I've been to pot displays. I have never seen the selection that Just Pots has. Acres and acres of pots. When I asked Jeremy how many they had, it was something over 40,000. We're talking terracotta pots with the very best terracotta coming out of Italy. We're talking glazed pots, mostly out of Vietnam, where they're making the best pots in the world. We're talking huge pots that take a machine to lift, and we're talking small pots that you can pick up 2 at a time. Just Pots delivers. They're open 7 days a week to serve you. They've got competent, qualified help, and you have never seen the assortment of pots they have. Out on Redland Road, easy to find, open 7 days a week. If you're looking for pots, you really need to visit Just Pots.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
KTSA.
It's 8 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. President Trump says the U.S. Navy is now escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz off the Iranian coast. What we don't know is how many ships have made it through so far.
Shipping Security Executive Jacob Larson, for one, was skeptical about President Trump's offer to protect ships sailing through the Strait of Hormuz.
To me, it looks like the outcome will be predictable. There will be some shooting at some ships, and then probably armed conflict will break out again.
Now, Iran's media report a U.S. Navy frigate has been targeted by 2 missiles in the strait, something the U.S. denies.
That's correspondent Vicky Barber. A man accused of making threats against a nail salon's recovering after he was shot over the weekend. San Antonio police say the man's been making threats against the business since March, but no details were given as to why. On Sunday morning, investigators say the man threw a box of fertilizer at the business and then pulled a knife. At that point, the business owner went outside with a gun and fired. Police say the suspect was hit in the leg, and then he drove himself to the hospital where he was later arrested. The nail salon's located on the north side. It's possible hate crime charges could be filed. For now, the suspect's been charged with making terroristic threats. 1 man hurt. Things could have been a lot worse at Newark Liberty Airport. A United Airlines flight came in too low, hit a light pole, which then hit a truck on the New Jersey Turnpike before landing.
This daily flight from Venice usually lands on one of Newark's longer runways. But because of windy conditions, the pilots were told to land on runway 29, the shortest runway at the airport.
They wanted to make sure they were putting it on the runway at the right point. But unfortunately, it appears that they got too low too soon.
That's correspondent Lily Luciano. If you're a Star Wars fan, today might be a good day to do some shopping.
Retailers are slashing prices for this May the 4th, with Lego leading the way by offering a buildable dark saber as a free gift with qualifying purchases. You can also snag 20% off apparel at Kohl's and Her Universe, or head to Burger King to try the limited edition Bounty Barbecue Whopper. If you're staying in, the season finale of Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord is now streaming on Disney+. May the 4th be with you.
That's correspondent Natalie Rodriguez. KTSA News Time, 8:02. Rob Thompson right here, KTSA Sports.
In the NBA, it's game day ball. The Spurs welcome in Minnesota. One new bit of news, Anthony Edwards is now been upgraded to questionable. Tip-off set for 8:30. They're not the only game of the night. The 76ers and Knicks begin their 7-game series after the 76ers dispatched Boston on Saturday. The Tuesday schedule has the Pistons and Cavs and Lakers and Thunder. Finally, in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys have been busy. They've signed 6 of 7 of their draft picks, including number 11 overall pick Caleb Downs. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA Time Saver Traffic and your complete KTSA AccuWeather forecast. We've got them both up next on 550 KTSA and FM 107.1. KTSA News Time, 8:03.
Eddie, why are you lounging in the backyard wearing sandals and sipping iced tea like you just checked into a fancy resort?
Naomi, it feels great out here.
You work so hard, Eddie. I'm glad to see you finally taking a minute for yourself.
Naomi, with our custom patio covers from Precision Windows and Doors, our backyard does indeed feel like a resort. Shade overhead, A comfortable breeze? No blazing sun. Ah, the window guy just needed a short break with his Patio Princess, huh?
Patio Princess? I like the sound of that.
Folks, with the patio cover from Precision Windows and Doors, your backyard starts feeling like a true extension of your home. A place to relax, unwind, and actually enjoy. Morning coffee outside, dinner with the sunset, and long weekend naps.
Elegant, durable patio covers built for comfort, built for style, and built for Texas weather. So if you're ready to create an outdoor space that feels comfortable, inviting, and truly custom, call Precision Windows and Doors at 210-596-6588.
Or PrecisionWindowsSA.com.
Let's brighten up your home together.
In the 80s, fashion was rad and music was cool. But if your AC isn't cool, that's totally bogus. It's Martin Bamba from the KTSA Rock and Home Show. For AC repair or a full install, call Right Home Services right now and get a complete AC install up to 3 tons for just $89.99. That's a limited time deal with serious savings. Right has the right team, the right price, and the right stuff. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000. They bring the cool.
The right stuff.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time is 8:05. Time to see what's happening with KTSA Time Saver traffic.
Good morning. Still dealing with that trouble spot on the south side of Division at Nogalitos. An accident where a vehicle hit a light pole. Those power lines still down. Road work continues 35 northbound O'Connor to Judson. That's got the roadway reduced to 1 lane. Just that left lane is open, and it is about a 25-minute delay. Stop and go from Walsall. On northbound 35, that on-ramp from Thousand Oaks, road work blocks the entrance ramp. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Warmer and increasingly humid to kick off the week. It'll be partly sunny today with the high up to 84. Breezy this evening, otherwise warm and humid. The low 69 along the Riverwalk and 66 in Hill Country. Mostly cloudy, humid, even warmer Tuesday, the high of 88. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 63 degrees, partly cloudy at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
All right, so we have already escorted a couple of tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. We're talking about, in fact, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, is on talking about this, that it was IMF week last week in New York, and he met with several countries that said, look, it's not just energy that's being held up in the Strait of Hormuz. We're talking about all kinds of things. We've talked about the fertilizer situation for quite some time, and right now it is critical that the people who are planting crops around the world get this fertilizer, and they can't because it's been held up in the Strait of Hormuz. The same thing is true with so many other things. LNG, liquid natural gas. There's so many countries that depend on it to, heat their homes, cook food, and so on and so forth. And that's been held up there too, and other staples as well. So, as a humanitarian effort, we have begun to take those through there. He also made a really good point about how this is. The Iranian Navy is a ragtag band of pirates at this point. They're not a cohesive Navy. But he made the ultimate point to all of this in that at the end of the day, their troops are going, their economy in Iran is in a free fall.
Right.
They're in a bad place right now. Inflation is skyrocketing out of control right now. The Iranian regime has brought all this on their own people, but now they can't pay their bills. Iran can't. And the biggest bill they can't pay is to their troops.
Mm-hmm. What happens when you can't pay the troops
Exactly
anymore?
Right.
Who are the troops going to swear allegiance to? Who are they going to be? We've been saying, on this show that at some point the people have to rise up against whatever constitutes leadership in that country right now. And if you're military and you're suddenly not getting paid and you can't feed your family, maybe things start to change fairly quickly. I don't know. I think these whoever is handling negotiations. I know there's a 14-point peace plan that still allows them to keep enriched uranium and stuff like that. So leadership-wise, whomever they are, I don't think they give a crap anymore. But if you're not paying the military, you may have bigger problems than you realize, man.
Well, a 14-point plan that includes them keeping enriched uranium is a non-starter.
Well,
and
yeah.
Trump has made that perfectly clear. We, in no way, and I've got tons of sound of him saying this over and over again, even the past 2 days, there is no way that we're going to allow them to have enriched uranium so that they can make a nuclear weapon and blow us off the planet.
Right. But they're not backing away from it. They sure aren't.
Well,
maybe they just don't care anymore. I don't know, whoever they are.
Well, an economic collapse is the way to get to them, and they are being very effective with an economic collapse here. And Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general, said this yesterday concerning what's happening in Iran.
He's not effectively arguing anything except that he is trying to keep this country safe. We have kept Congress updated at every step of the way, consistent with what other presidents have done. President Trump is doing something that the past 5 presidents did not do. They promised to do it. They promised, we'll stop Iran. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. President Trump is doing what others have promised but failed to do. And as far as what we're doing with Congress, keeping them updated, we are doing so.
He's doing a great job. So really goes back to the messaging issue, and I like seeing that Bacenta's out there talking about the messaging on this and getting the messaging right and what we're attempting to do. If we look back to World War XI with Ilhan Omar, what the people of America did then was great sacrifice. It was an incredible sacrifice to everybody in this country to get rid of the Nazis. The modern-day Nazis is Iran, the Iranian regime. That's the modern-day Jew haters who want to kill Jews on the planet, as Hitler did. In fact, they were in bed with Hitler in World War II, and they are still designed to take out the Jews. So we're going after them economically, but my point is the American people made great sacrifices then for over 3.5 years. We've been at this less than 2 months, and we're paying higher gas prices, and people are completely coming apart at the seams about it. We have to communicate to people, look, yeah, you're going to pay higher gas prices for a little while. They're going to come plummeting here pretty soon when this is over with and the strait is opened back up. Gas prices are going to fall through the floor. But right now, for maybe a month or 2, 3 months, whatever, we're going to have to pay higher gas prices. But at the end of the day, no more Americans are going to be killed by this regime like what's been going on for 47 years.
Well, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, I think it's great having Bacent out there, and you got to get that messaging out there. But I wonder to what extent it's going to be effective when you have pretty much every major media outlet putting out a completely opposite or opposing narrative about what's going on. I told you I've been kind of watching CNN and MS Now, whatever they're called now, a little bit more than I used to, just checking in every now and again to see how they're covering stuff. And you don't realize until you watch just how unrelenting the negative messaging is. And if you're only getting your news from those sources, you think this is horrible. You think they're stumbling through this, and it's all about making his rich friends richer with oil, and then the Iranian people are being run roughshod over. You're getting a completely different story. And I don't know, you can send Scott out, you can send all these folks out with this new messaging, but it's got to get through layers of bull crap to get to the people. And I don't know if that's going to work or not.
Very few people get their news from those organizations anymore, and so that's the shining light. They need to be very aggressive on social media and the podcast sphere. They need to be on Rogan's show. They need to be on all the other shows that are available out there and talking about what Scott Bacent's talking about right now, and talking about how this is a 47-year war. They have killed thousands of Americans. It's cost us trillions of dollars. And, yeah, I'm sorry, you're going to have to pay higher gas prices for a few months. But Rich Lowry had a fantastic piece in the New York Post this weekend, just yesterday. It was wonderful. How Drill Baby Drill is showing that the Strait of Hormuz and what's going on in Iran is the perfect thing for Drill Baby Drill. In other words, the fact that we took Drill Baby Drill and we started to drill and we became energy independent, a net exporter of energy. And we are now helping other countries around the world survive what's happening right now because of the Drill Baby Drill. If that had not been in effect, you'd be paying $10 a gallon right now.
Oh, sure.
You would be.
Yeah, and reasonable people know that. But Rogan himself was out there about a week ago saying that this is crazy, that this Iran thing, we're stuck in this new war. Rogan is one of those guys, and he was out there talking crap about the whole operation. So I agree that the messaging, I guess could be better. But I think you're always going to have a certain segment of the population. It's not going to matter how much reason you inject in this conversation.
Well, as I told you earlier,
they're going to
have the far left TDA or TDS folks who you just forget about trying to get into their brains because they're never going to change their mind. Anything that Trump does, they're going to say the opposite. But in the middle, you still have people who have some rationality in their minds. And yes, you got to go on those podcasts and you got to get that message out there. And yeah, Rogan about a month ago started to say, why the hell are we doing this? This is the biggest effing thing in the world, and all that. And just to sit down with him and say, let's talk for a couple hours about this, Joe, and walk through this. Let me explain to you what we're doing. And he's a reasonable guy. He is
I agree.
He's a thinking man. So I think he would be one who would be open to saying, yeah, that makes sense. So, this is kind of late. The horse is out of the barn on this messaging deal. It should have been done at the very beginning. Hopefully they live and learn.
Yeah, but they were saying at the beginning of this is a 47-year-old war, and Trump was saying we're ending an old war. We talk endlessly about the previous administrations that didn't do anything about it. So that messaging was there.
In the wrong places.
All right, well, in the wrong places. So maybe they'll get it in the right places this time, because I think the longer this goes on, I think there is something to what Riccardi's been saying, which is the Revolutionary Guard, the remnants of whomever is actually running this country. They know that the longer this goes on, the more support is going to start peeling away from Trump, no matter how brilliant he is or how brilliantly the operation is going. Because, yeah, their latest peace proposal was we get to keep the enriched uranium. It doesn't sound like somebody who is feeling any kind of pressure about anything. They're still demanding the same crap. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think the longer it goes on, the longer it's going to be hard to maintain the support overall for it. I agree. I agree with you. I think, it's something that should have been done a long time ago, and I know the sense of it. But I just think people's appetite for this sort of thing is going to start to wane after a while.
Oh, for sure. And nobody would have argued to allow Hitler to be around for 47 years, but they have argued to allow this regime, which is modern-day Hitler, to be around for 47 years. They've been killing Jews for 47 years. They've been killing Americans for 47 years. And so we're doing the right thing. It's very uncomfortable right now to the people of America to go through this. It's uncomfortable for all of us to be paying these high gas prices.
Right.
But we are doing the right thing, not only for our country, but for the world.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I agree. We'll see how the messaging goes, though.
Yeah. All right, quick break. More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA. Monday, May 4th, sun and a few clouds, high of 85 today, 63 now, KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your commute on 35 northbound, that off-ramp from Thousand Oaks or on-ramp, we've got some road work blocking the entrance ramp. A stall at 35 southbound, Frostbank Center Drive in the right lane. Northbound 35 approaching FM 1518 Selma. We are getting reports of an accident left lane, and we still have that trouble spot on the south side, Division at Nogalitos, where a vehicle hit a light pole, so we've got some down to power lines. Right lane still blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Local roots, national focus, global perspective. Stay connected. News Talk 550, KTSA, and FM 107.1.
Dave Ramsey here. When your AC quits, the plumbing backs up, or something electrical goes sideways, you need straight answers. That's why I recommend Champion Home Services. They handle heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. One company with no pressure and no games or upselling. Just honesty and clear pricing before anything starts. You see the purple Champion trucks and their belt buckle logo all over town. Champion believes in doing things the right way the first time. They show up on time, respect your home, they respect your money, and they do the work like professionals should, helping you sleep better at night. So when you need reliable AC, plumbing, and electrical help from people you can trust, call Champion Home Services at 210-528-1604 or go to championac.com. Trustworthy, Texas-proud home services, championac.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Every leader feels the pressure to do AI, but rushing in leads to leaks and wasted budget. Bridgehead IT starts with a full AI assessment to secure your data and find where AI actually moves the needle. Stop guessing. Lead with confidence at bridgeheadit.com.
Hi, this is Taylor with Patriot Dryer Vent Cleaning. If your dryer is taking more than one cycle, that's a warning sign your vent may be clogged. Don't wait. This can be a serious fire hazard. Schedule your cleaning today at cleanmydryervent.org. That's cleanmydryervent.org.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall Tire Dressing. Plus, get 4 times O Rewards points now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When the job has to get done, your equipment can't let you down. That's why choosing the right Kubota dealer matters after the sale. At Ewald Kubota, you can rely on fast repairs by expert technicians using genuine Kubota parts. And if your machine does need major repairs, we have rentals to keep you working. For all your equipment needs, come to the dealer you've trusted for over 75 years. Kubota equipment is built to last, but great service keeps it running. Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy.
The Ramsey Show starts today at 1 on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Former NYPD officer, rock and roll singer, Eddie Money, 1978.
Wow.
821, Ware and Rima, KTSA.
Well, let's try to make our way through the Spirit Airlines thing. Okay, as somebody who doesn't fly a lot, you know, I'm not in the airport system a whole lot or buying airplane tickets anymore. But Spirit classically offered very low fares. They had some problems during COVID when people stopped flying, obviously, for the most part. Were never able quite to recover. They're losing money, so you have a proposed merger with JetBlue, right, in the latter days or the waning days of the Biden administration, which they blocked, saying, well, it would kill competition, oddly, right? It would be, what do you call it? I just went blank. I just went blank on the word as far as owning all the business. It would block out all their competitors, and it would be an unfair advantage over all the other airlines. And so that merger was blocked, which would have saved Spirit Airlines being folded into JetBlue. Well, they didn't happen, so they've been failing. They were looking for a $500 million bailout or something of that nature, which didn't happen, and so now they've gone. They just shut down as of like 3:00, I guess, yesterday afternoon. So they're just gone. I basically have that right. So in order to block or under the argument that there would be unfair competition for other airlines and the fares would go up and you wouldn't be able to afford it, would have a detrimental effect on the whole industry. They blocked the merger, and now the airline has just gone away because they couldn't survive.
Well, and Scott Bessent talked about it. I want you to hear what he had to say.
Right. This is just more of the mess we inherited from the Biden administration. In September 2022, Elizabeth Warren, who loves to write letters, sent a letter to the Justice Department, to the Transport Department, saying that they should oppose the merger with Spirit Airlines. JetBlue wanted to buy them for $3.8 billion. It would have given them much more resiliency. And she and the Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, was probably the worst transportation secretary in history when he came to the office. They were against the merger, and if JetBlue had merged with Spirit, we would have all these jobs that were lost yesterday. We had 30 regional airports who have lost service. And I can tell you what happened here. It wasn't Treasury, it was Commerce that was trying to put something together. But the reason we were here was because the Biden administration opposed the merger. We shouldn't have been here in the first place.
So, taking the words of Elizabeth Warren, they stood in the way of the merger, and Pete Buttigieg, who gets everything wrong.
Yeah.
There's not anything he's ever gotten right. Caused, the destruction of Spirit Airlines, and all those jobs were gone as of 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
Right.
History, out of here.
Monopoly was the word that I was stuck on earlier. They originally argued that we can't allow the merger because it'll present an unfair monopoly of the airline industry on all these other providers. And, of course, look at what happened as a result. So all those jobs are lost. Everything's lost. It all just shut down. And there's another example of, what would you say, liberal logic when it comes to business.
Well,
it's kind of a double-edged sword because you don't want to prop up businesses that aren't going to make it. We've had that discussion over the years as far as the banking industry and the auto industry. But where are you on this one? Would you have wanted to support Spirit Airlines or so it doesn't go out of business? Would you have supported the merger? What?
I would have supported the merger,
right?
Because that's their business,
right.
And that's how business is done in America. And you can see many instances when Democrats, when they're making money off of it, they will support a merger. Okay,
right.
And they're not anti-merger. They're not an anti-merger
right.
party. It just, if they're benefiting from it. In this case, what you would have had is you would have had a streamlined version of JetBlue. It would have given them more resources to be able to compete against the other carriers, which
right.
that includes the closest to them would have been a Southwest, and then on up to a Delta and a United and all of that stuff, American. But now with Spirit going completely away, you have people that are going to be hitting the unemployment line. You've got a whole bunch of infrastructure there inside of this company that's now dormant, and it's done, and it's over
right.
with. So you have a lot of money that's drying up. So in Elizabeth Warren's infinite wisdom, in order to, what she said, protect people by saying we're not going to have a monopoly with this airline, now she's really hurt people. She's forced people out of work, and people who relied on a budget carrier because they needed to get from A to B as cheaply as possible. They don't have that option anymore. Right. So what she effectively did, and Pete Buttigieg did, was actually drive the prices up, because now with less competition, the ones that remain can raise the prices higher.
So what was their motivation? What was the government's motivation between blocking the merger? Why would they have wanted to do that?
You talking about Elizabeth Warren and Pete Buttigieg and all that? I can't figure those people out. Anything that they do, and I guess Scott Bessent said that this is just more of the mess we inherited from them. Tell me one thing that they did that made any logical sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's always like some screwed up, shady ass reason for why they do everything. So it's like, well, what was your shady ass reason for blocking?
That was the one they gave. They were preventing a merger that would have caused a monopoly. That's the one they gave. But in reality, the opposite is what they did.
Right.
So nothing, and that was so much the result of the 4 years of their administration was the opposite of what they said their intent is what happened.
But you're right. But very often the reason they do that is because they're making money in some other regard, or there's something else going on. It's really not just about preventing a monopoly.
Well, it's very possible.
So I just wonder what the real reason was that they blocked this merger.
Could be.
Because it certainly would have made sense.
But effectively what they did, instead of saying, okay, we're going to allow a merger and allow JetBlue to be strengthened against these other carriers so that the traveling public has more options for a cheaper ride. Now what they've done is eliminated the cheaper ride, and now everybody has to pay the higher price.
In other words, government screwed over the very people they claim that they were going to be helping.
Exactly.
Which is what they do on a routine basis.
The people who depend on a cheap carrier, and that Spirit was the cheapest of the cheap, really.
Right.
They're now left without a way to travel anywhere because they can't pay the higher prices.
Right.
And the others have, when you talk about a Southwest and a Delta and the others that remain, they don't have any reason to hold their prices low because the low guy's gone. There's no more low fare carrier out there. So now they can just raise their prices to high heaven.
Right. Again, I just kind of go back to what was the ultimate what was the real reason why they blocked this merger?
You never know, but But in reality, at the bottom line, none of that administration made any logical sense.
I agree.
Well, let me tell you about my friends over at Window World. When you look at the Window World windows, you do see the difference between the other replacement windows that are available on the market, and you see it in any number of ways. First thing I noticed about them was the beauty, because you could get them in any color and any style for any window in your home, okay? And that's what we did at the warehouse 3.5, 4 years ago when we had Window World come put those beautiful windows in. They fit perfectly. The installers are AAMA certified master installers, so they know exactly what to do to put the window in exactly how it's supposed to go, so you don't have to worry about seepage around the windows and things like that. So it's number one, the thing that you'll notice is the beauty, but what I paid close attention to was the energy efficiency, and we had our person who came to our home go through all the energy options that were available and show us, I mean literally show us on paper, how the Window World windows would be saving us money every day, every minute of every day that they're in our home. Very, 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 very pleased with our Window World windows, and I think you will be too. It's locally and family owned by Martin Bamba. You know my love for Martin. I think he's a great guy and a great company. The best price guarantee. He won't be undersold by anybody that's out there. They've got a design center over at 410 between Broadway and Nacogdoches that is gorgeous, so you can stop on in there and see the folks at Window World, or they'll come to you with a free in-home quote at Window World Windows, 210-767-0995.
Hey, it's Sean. As you know, I've needed a lot of medical stuff over the past few years, and that's why coverage through work is so very important to me, and that's why you should talk to my friends at Texacare. If you're a small business owner in Texas, Texacare is healthcare coverage built by Texans for Texans, and trust is in their DNA. Texacare is the health affiliate of Texas Mutual, who has been the leading workers' compensation insurance provider for Texas businesses for 30 years. Now, what makes Texacare different? Texacare's plans were developed after listening to Texas small businesses and crafting benefits that work for them and their needs, such as 4 no copay visits per member per year for your primary care, such as cardiologists, dermatologists, mental health professionals, physical therapy, chiropractic, and other providers. So talk to my friends at Texacare. If you're a business owner in Texas, you will thank me later. It's very easy to do. Just go to the website, Texacare.com. That's Texacare.com. Take care, Texas, with Texacare.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Trey Ware for Dr. Sally and everybody at Here in Texas. They'd love to see you, talk with you about your hearing, and possibly prescribe hearing aids for you to help you hear things you've never heard before. They really are amazing at Here, H-E-A-R, HereInTX.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
The U.S. is escorting stranded ships through the Strait of Hormuz, and as that's happening, Iran says it's hit a U.S. naval vessel, but U.S. Central Command says that has not happened. 3 people expected to recover after a shooting in downtown New Braunfels over the weekend, and somebody in the Austin area is about to become a lot richer if they realize they've won a Powerball jackpot. Details coming up, 9 o'clock, KTSA News Time, 8:33.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots. This report sponsored by Lowe's. On 35 northbound, the on-ramp from Thousand Oaks. We've got some road work. It's blocking the entrance ramp. An accident in Selma, 35 northbound approaching FM 1518. This one in the left lane already causing a 30-minute delay. Solid from Judson Road. A stall at 35 southbound Frostbank Center Drive, right lane, and Division at Nogalitos. A vehicle hit a light pole, down power line, still taking up a right lane. Spring into deals at Lowe's. Get select 1.5-gallon annuals, hanging baskets, 2 for $15, plus get 3 free bags of Miracle Grow 0.75 cubic feet garden soil when you buy 3. Valid through 5/6, excludes Alaska and Hawaii, while supplies last. Selection varies by location. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Will continue to heat up for the first half of the week. It'll be more humid as well with partly sunny skies today, the high of 84. Remaining warm tonight, the low just 69 along the Riverwalk and 66 in Hill Country. Mostly cloudy, warmer on Tuesday with the high up to 88. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Up to 64 degrees under partly cloudy skies at San Antonio's severe weather station. Christian Blood, stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
How about some Jackson Brown? You ready for that, baby?
Yeah, let's do it.
Running
Crank
on empty. A lot of us are running on empty these days. You put $5 in.
I was going to say.
Get you a gallon.
$5 get me up and back to work, man. That's about it.
Yeah.
8:35 now, Ware and Rima. Y'all want some checkout stand news?
Some what?
Checkout stand news.
Checkout stand tabloidy stuff?
Yeah.
I'm game.
Yeah, sure.
You want some of that?
Yeah.
Y'all see this guy driving the big rig and a 767 hit him?
Yeah.
Up in Newark.
Oh, yeah.
The guy was landing at Newark, and, boy, this was I put it up on the X account. Put the video up on the X account. Not non-life-threatening injuries. Now, I've got the cam from inside the big rig up on the X account.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he wasn't killed.
I don't either.
It's a dadgum 767 loaded with 221 passengers and 10 crew. They're all okay as well.
Right.
He hit a light. The pilot hit a light pole. Oh, there it is. Had a light pole and that 18-wheeler. And just destroyed both of them.
And you know what that footage reminds me of that we're watching right now?
What's that?
That's the route I take home on Loop 410 right by the airport.
When they're just coming in real low, man.
I think I'll go the other way.
You know, in St. Martin, they've got Orient Beach and all that over there, and they've got that place where those guys come right over the fence.
Boy, they do.
They've had people get killed because when they take off from that spot, people will stand at that fence, and the jet will blow them into the curb behind them and kill them.
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I had to get used to it when I first moved to town because I was driving on 410 a lot, even in those days, and I had to get used to like those airplanes rolling right over 410 at that height. I mean, there's some of them are so low.
Oh yeah,
it used to freak me out when I first moved here.
So, did a lot of talk last hour about Golden Tempo coming from behind to win the Kentucky Derby. First woman, Sherry Devois, who won, first woman to win, woman trainer. I got to say that right, Elaine? Right, woman trainer. And the first one to win the Kentucky Derby, the second one to ever win a Triple Crown. And the two brothers, one brother jockey beat the other brother jockey at the line to win. Here's another interesting factoid for you. 19 out of the 20 horses came from Secretariat.
Oh, really?
19
That's
out
really?
of the 20
wow, man.
came
Good
from
genes.
Secretariat. So,
good genes.
All right?
Yeah.
Area 51 earthquakes. Man, last week was a week for that. All this talk now about exposing. In fact, Donald Trump said again yesterday, you're about to be hit with a bunch of UFO info that's going to blow your mind. That's what he said yesterday.
Right.
I saw some stuff in the sky yesterday, dude.
What'd you see?
The Thunderbirds flying right over my house.
Wow.
In formation 4, and then a 2x2 came by, and they were low, man.
It's the air show at Randolph Saturday and Sunday.
That was awesome to watch.
There's still F-16s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They canceled them on Friday because of the weather.
Yeah.
But Saturday and Sunday, they had perfect weather for it. And did you hear the explosions because they had all the bombs going off out there, too?
It was a loud day. All the neighbors were out in their driveways watching the planes and everything. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Very cool. And they even had the World War II stuff. They had biplanes flying over. It was very cool to watch.
It sounded like you were in Private Ryan when the biplanes were coming over. And stuff.
My next door neighbor is the aide to the general at Randolph, and so he's high up and dealing with all of this and preparing for it. And it takes them a very long time to put this show together.
I imagine.
But it's an awesome show when you see it. Anyway, so Area 51, Donald Trump says we're going to be releasing the UFO info. We talk a lot about Anna Pauline and Luna, Tim Burchett, and all the others that want to release the info. Last week, there were 17 earthquakes at Area 51 in one day.
Wow.
On Wednesday. Now,
Really?
all week long they had earthquakes, but on Wednesday they had 17 of them, one right after another.
That's because they're moving all the spaceships
That's
and
it.
the aliens
That's
underground.
it. They're destroying evidence. The
Or the aliens.
no
Or they might
aliens, no grays here. We
Got a big old
blasted.
rider truck out in the front.
No,
Rider truck stuffed with like alien.
I think
tech.
they're blowing the stuff up, and
The aliens are fracking.
so
Or they're firing it up.
Well, what they were talking about, what geophysicists are concerned about, these are anywhere from 2.5 to 4.4 on the Richter scale. So they're very surface oriented. They're not down deep.
Right.
So something's happening surface oriented. Geophysicists are thinking this is like nuke testing, below ground nuke testing that's going on right now at Area 51. It might be, but I still think they're destroying the evidence. I think they're killing the grays.
Or they might just be, the Greys might be firing up their vehicles.
It's like Independence Day.
They're just going to pop up out of the ground.
We'll find out. But I thought that was interesting. 17 earthquakes in one day at Area 51.
That's an awful lot.
Coinky dinky.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem natural, like a fault line or something.
Right.
Now, we're still checking out here. More people in Ohio over the weekend reported seeing Sasquatch. So apparently we have a family of Squatch squatting in northeastern Ohio.
Wow.
That are sitting there because more and more people, now there's hundreds of people since March in northeastern Ohio who have said, I saw him, I know what I saw. In fact, I saw a family of Squatches squatting, and they are for sure, they're for real. 17-inch footprints is what they're finding, which equates to somebody 7 feet or taller.
Wow.
How did they know it was
a big
family?
Squatch.
Huh?
How do they know
it was a family?
Because they're seeing all different sizes.
The big one's driving a station wagon?
Yeah. A big SUV. Anyway.
They'll be on welfare at some point.
Do you believe in Sasquatch?
They'll be on welfare. Do I believe? Oh, I don't know. I suppose it's possible. I don't really think about it a whole lot as far as whether they're real or not.
Hat.
Huh?
Do
Grab
you?
that little tinfoil hat on.
Do you
Taz.
believe? Do you believe in Sasquatch?
I don't really know. I mean, it's kind of like the Loch Ness Monster. I would have thought that by now, with all the technology we have, nothing is hidden on this planet anymore.
Well, except for stuff in the deepest parts of the ocean.
They can, but that's not where Sasquatch is. They can see a mole on your nose. They can pick out your third nose hair.
Right.
With satellites. Please don't tell me they can't find Sasquatch.
Sasquatch?
You know.
They can't find a Sasquatch?
Yeah.
What if Sasquatch likes to go for deep swims?
Maybe
Deep
he does.
swims.
He could be down there.
Maybe he's really smart and he made Sasquatch submarines.
That's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I suppose anything is possible because we had dinosaurs here at one time. We still have the remnants of dinosaurs when you look at crocodiles and alligators. We have these creatures, that are around. So anything is possible, but I'm just saying somebody would have made contact. That's what I think.
I don't think about Bigfoot a whole lot.
I don't either.
I think more about the extraterrestrials. They're the ones I'm concerned with, extraterrestrials.
Can I flip this back to Star Wars Day quick?
Sure.
Oh, God, here we go again.
Yes, you may.
Well, you look at a Sasquatch and some of that crude video footage from the 70s and so forth, and doesn't it kind of look like a Chewbacca suit?
Chewbacca looks like a Wookiee. It looks like a big Wookiee. So
That's
really what
I'm
we're
saying.
looking for are Wookiees, not Sasquatches.
See how deep it goes?
We're looking for big Wookiees. We don't want little Wookiees.
Yeah, big Wookiees.
No little Wookiees around here. We want big ones only. Big Wookiees, Elaine. That's what we're looking for, big ones.
Well, I got some big dummies I'm looking at.
Yeah, Elaine's enthralled by this.
That's good, Elaine. That's good. I like it.
Frank Sanford says, you big dummies.
Wow.
Elaine, I want to tell you about Lazar. When I saw Lazar, I thought of moonshine.
Oh.
Lazar.
There's a different different breed, obviously, but looks a lot like Moonshine. Lazar is a toy spaniel, continental toy spaniel, and was just given from its owner to a new owner in France because Lazar outlived its owner. Lazar is over 31 years old.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Lazar is the oldest dog in the world at over 31 years old.
Man. Wow. That's an old dog.
Wow.
That's an old dog.
And looks a lot like Moonshine.
Oh, my goodness.
Except Lazar's got his age problems. He can't get his tongue back in his mouth. His tongue is hanging out of here, and it won't go back in his mouth.
Does that happen to us all as we get older?
That's why I
my
said
tongue's always hanging out of my
implants.
damn mouth.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
He didn't go to River City to get his implants.
That's right.
Anyway, cute little story with 31-year-old dog.
That's an old dog and outlived the owner, so it had to go live in France.
Telling you. Maybe with the squatting Sasquatches.
Maybe
I don't know.
Squatting Sasquatches took the old dog in.
Who knows?
We've been around a long time. We know how to take care of elderly dogs.
More Ware and Rima coming up. You know, our friends over at River City Oral Surgery are ready to do implants for you. And these are so important. You know, if your doctor has told you you need dentures or you need to start thinking about implants, well, I want to recommend River City Oral Surgery to you for any number of reasons. It starts with Dr. Mark Havercorn, who's one of the best in the world at oral surgery. By far, not even close. I mean, people come from all over the state to receive the services from Dr. Havercorn at River City Oral Surgery. I love his business model where he decided a long time ago he was going to be fair and upfront with the price. Clear. Pricing is all on the website. You see exactly what a full jaw of implants is going to cost you. And there's no, games or gimmicks, no trying to upsell you on anything. It's just this is what we do. This is what it's going to cost you to get this done. All of their services are provided by expert specialists. Now, most places don't use specialists for all three. Some places don't use any specialists at all, but at River City Oral Surgery, they use specialists for all three of the procedures in receiving dental implants. So if you have one or two teeth that are missing, you need to get those replaced, or you have an entire jaw that you need work done on, River City Oral Surgery is ready. Really, it starts by just going to the website, checking out the procedures, checking out the prices that are available there, and booking your appointment to go in and have your consultation at River City Oral Surgery. RiverCityOMS.com. The sun and a few clouds around today. 85 for the high. Rain chances return Wednesday through Saturday this week. 64 right now. KTSA.
Good morning. Got a few trouble spots. This report sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. 35 northbound, the on-ramp from Thousand Oaks. Still have that road work blocking the entrance ramp. A wreck 35 northbound approaching FM 1518. That's in the left lane. That's a 35-minute delay. Stop and go from O'Connor. Division at Nogalito still have a right lane blocked where earlier this morning a vehicle hit a light pole, so we still have some down power lines in the area. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MADD-HELP or MADD.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Ware and Rima, on air and online every morning.
And actually, they become hot as a pistol, so what can I tell you?
Watch the show weekday morning 6 till 10, only on KTSA.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
At Ponderosa Ranch, your pup is our priority. Boarding, training, daycare, and bathing, we treat your dog like family. With 3 area locations, Ponderosa Ranch can't wait to be your pup's home away from home. Book their next day or stay with us at WeLoveYourDog.net.
Are you looking for new windows, maybe siding, maybe even a patio cover, but you also want to keep your savings account from having a panic attack? I'm Eddie Murata, the window guy from Precision Windows and Doors. We're a local, family-owned window, siding, and door company. And the price? Let's just say we don't have the pushy commission salespeople. We pass the savings on to you. No limited time nonsense, just honest pricing and a quote you can trust. For energy-efficient windows, we've got them all the top brands and highest quality. Want the best siding in the business? We carry and install hardy siding all over San Antonio. And if you're craving shade, we've got custom patio covers that'll make your backyard the envy of the block. At Precision Windows and Doors, we offer military and senior discounts, flexible financing, and only recommend what's best for your home. Call me, Eddie, the window guy, at 210-596-6588. That's 210-596-6588. Or visit PrecisionWindowsSA.com. Let's brighten up your home together.
I love my Connecticut water softener. Dave here, and yes, I own a Connecticut. Other water softeners just can't measure up. So if your old unit keeps breaking, leaking, or burning through salt, stop paying for frustration. A Connecticut doesn't run on electricity. It powers itself using your water flow and only cleans itself when needed, not on a timer. And Connecticut backs its efficiency claims with independent testing through the Water Quality Association. Connecticut protects your plumbing and appliances. It helps dishes and fixtures stay cleaner and leaves your skin and hair feeling better. And right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. For clean, pure water 24/7, call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE, and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
If you're bugged by bugs, call Pied Piper Pest Control at 826-2030. Even if you've spoken to another company, call Pied Piper for a second opinion. Online at sabugs.com or call 826-2030 for Pied Piper Pest Control.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomber from the KTSA Rockin' Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
Not a lot of things in this world are free, especially a world with high inflation. But when it comes to financial education, I have something free for you. It's the Creating Richer Lives podcast. I'm Carl Eggers, your host. Find the podcast each week at creatingricherlives.com or on all major podcasting platforms.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
And it's 8:51, Ware and Rima, KTSA.
We mentioned earlier Rudy Giuliani is in the hospital. We don't really have a lot of information. He's in critical but stable condition. He's 81 years of age. He had been, if you remember, a few months ago, 8 months ago, he was in a car crash. He was helping a woman who, I guess she said she was fleeing a domestic violence thing, and there was a car crash. He was struck from behind. That he was in the hospital for a while with that. So we don't know exactly what's going on with him now. I haven't heard anything as far as specifically what he's in there for. Have you heard anything?
No, all they have said is he's in critical but stable.
Right,
That's
critical but stable.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just one of those guys that I've always had a great deal of admiration for. Liberal though he was at different times, you go back to how he cleaned up New York City. The New York City we grew up in was an S show. I mean, it really was. As far as the gangs and the desolation and the corruption and the mob and all that stuff. And Rudy Giuliani, as a prosecutor, rolled in there and started cleaning house, which he did. And he took on the mob in a way that nobody had ever taken on the mob before in this country. And it's largely credited with, then once he became mayor, of cleaning up New York City. I mean, I went to New York in 1990, I guess it was. I believe, which would have been the Giuliani era, and completely different experience than what I was told it was going to be. It's kind of a sin now that the city has been allowed to kind of go back to what it was, and even in a worse way, under the past couple of mayors. But you look at the days and weeks after September 11th, Rudy Giuliani, even more so than George Walker Bush, was amazing in that moment. The fact that he was down there on the streets just hours after, the attacks, and was there walking around and demanding to know what's going on, and he's talking to fire chiefs, and he's organizing. He's on the streets. He's not someplace being safe. He's on the streets walking around trying to find out what's, organized stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, soon after that, he ran for president. But I've just always found him to be an incredibly impressive human being. And certainly, and Donald Trump had said this over the weekend, probably one of the greatest mayors New York City's ever had. And was called America's mayor, if you remember correctly, in the days after 9/11. And just an impressive guy. And he's always been a guy who went with his own thoughts. He never seemed like a partisan guy. It's not that I agree with everything he said, but just a very impressive guy. We wish him well.
Think back to the old New York, and the thing that sticks out of my mind are those little 5-cent porn arcades that were all over the place. He got that all cleaned up, man. Got the hookers out of there. All that stuff he got cleaned up, where you felt like you were safe walking around in New York. And when Elaine and I went up there 10 years after 9/11, it was one of the safest places I've ever felt like. It kind of, not an old hometown feel, but people were out walking their dogs and walking their children to school every morning in the streets, and it just felt really, comfortable is a good word for it.
And it ain't that now.
No.
It's quite the opposite now. I haven't been since 1990, but everybody I know who has gone recently, they all say the same thing. First off, as soon as you get off the train or get off the airplane, you could smell the garbage and the crap and the crime. Obviously, we've talked about spent a goodly amount of time over the past few years talking about the crime in New York. A lot of it's migrant based, a lot of it's gang based, a lot of it's random. How many people have been shoved onto the tracks of the subway system over the past few years? So it's a real shame because Giuliani really did clean up that town and make it into a place that people wanted to go to again. And now it seems like it slid right back to where it was, even worse.
Yeah, for sure. And he, was excoriated by the left and became a hated figure in his country. He was the most beloved figure after 9/11, became a hated figure after proving with the documentation that 2020 was stolen. Something we knew for sure.
Right.
We knew it. And he and Mike Lindell and what was her name? The female attorney that was also a part of where they went around and presented it to left.
Haba?
No. Left-wing judges that also said, you're wrong, this was fine. And we knew it wasn't.
Right.
We knew it was cheated from the get-go. But the media just ripped him to shreds. And so that's how you end up with Jimmy Kimmel, once again, with his dark death obsession of Republicans, making a joke about the death of Rudy Giuliani last week, which isn't funny. Death jokes aren't funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be open to the concept of joke about it and make fun about it. But to me, I'm sorry, it might be just where I am in life, but death is not funny.
Well,
it's just not.
I said that in the video last week. It's like the older you get, the more you realize how quickly it all goes.
Well, have some loved ones die.
Like that's what I'm saying. The death jokes really aren't all that funny.
Yeah. Lose your kids, lose your parents, and see how funny death is.
But it's the easiest way to go for a lot of people like Kimmel. They don't really have to be clever to make that kind of a joke. You know what I mean? It doesn't really require a very complex sense of humor to do a death joke.
I don't want to get too serious here because I know we're not trying to, we're trying to lighten the load a little bit, but I was just reading the story about the 5 members of the pickleball club that crashed up in Wimberley in an airplane from Amarillo to New Braunfels, went down in Wimberley over the weekend. They're all dead.
Right.
Ask their families how funny death is.
Right. Try to crack a joke about that.
Yeah.
Well, but see,
pickleball players
a guy
died.
like Jimmy Kimmel wouldn't make a joke about that.
No, of course not.
They wouldn't make a joke about somebody they actually cared about, and they would be offended by anybody who would.
Yeah.
But it's okay if it's Donald Trump or Giuliani or somebody like that.
Quick break, more Ware and Rima coming up, KTSA.
The Ramsey Reality Check is brought to you by Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net.
Listen, folks, roofing is one of those categories that if you don't go with someone you trust, it could end up costing you more in the end. That's why you need to call my friends at Stevens Roofing. These guys work all over South Texas, and I trust them to give you an affordable solution for all your roofing needs. They repair and install all kinds of roofing, including metal or composition, commercial or residential. Whether you have a simple leak or need a whole new roof, Stevens will take great care of you. You can count on competitive prices, and they'll communicate with you throughout the process. Stevens is licensed with the City of San Antonio. Plus, with any roof replacement, you'll get an instant savings of $300 and a free ridge vent. Folks, make sure maintaining your home is included in your budget, and when life happens, call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. That's 785-0994, or at stevensroofing.net. Tell them Dave sent you.
President Trump needs conservative fighter Carlos de la Cruz in Congress. That's why President Trump gave Carlos de la Cruz his complete and total endorsement. 20-year Air Force veteran, businessman, outsider. Carlos de la Cruz is a Trump conservative who will always fight for Texas, and he needs your vote on May 26th. Vote May 26th for Carlos de la Cruz, the only candidate backed by the National Border Patrol Council. And Carlos de la Cruz is the only candidate backed by President Trump and his MAGA warriors in Congress. They support Carlos de la Cruz because they know he will always stand with President Trump. On May 26th, vote Carlos de la Cruz for Congress.
I'm Carlos de la Cruz, and I approve this message. I'll always stand with Texas and President Trump.
Paid for by Carlos de la Cruz for Congress.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 9 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. Ceasefire or not, President Trump says the U.S. Navy is now escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz.
This did not seem to get any type of green light from Iran, as they have warned that U.S. forces would be attacked if they enter the Strait of Hormuz. We saw earlier this morning, Washington time, Iranian sources say that they launched 2 strikes on a U.S. naval vessel, though U.S. CENTCOM denies that that was the case.
As correspondent Aaron Navarro, KTSA has learned 2 American-flagged vessels have made it through the key waterway off the Iranian coast. A suspect in police custody after a shooting in downtown New Braunfels that hurt 3 people early Sunday morning. Officers were called around 12:45 on a report of shots fired on North Seguin Avenue near Main Plaza. Investigators say Josiah Aravalo of New Braunfels fired shots from his car at 2 men he'd been fighting with earlier that evening. Police say he hurt both men, plus a woman who was a bystander. All 3 victims are expected to recover. Aravalo faces 3 charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The man known as America's mayor now fighting for his life in a Florida hospital.
Rudy Giuliani, former New York City mayor and advisor to President Trump, is in critical but stable condition at a Florida hospital. That's according to a spokesperson who did not say why the 81-year-old was hospitalized. Giuliani earned the nickname America's mayor for helping unite the nation after the September 11 terror attacks, but he became a more divisive figure later after serving as President Trump's personal lawyer. On social media, Trump called Giuliani a warrior.
Correspondent Heather Bosch, someone in the Austin area is set to become a whole lot richer, as KTSA's Stacey Keene reports.
A winning Powerball ticket was sold in Leander, but the person who bought it has yet to come forward. The jackpot was worth $20 million, but someone in Florida also matched all 6 numbers that were drawn. The Lottery Association says the Texas winner took the cash option at the time of purchase, and that means they're in line for about $4.5 million before taxes. But that winner has only 180 days to claim their prize. Stacey Keene, KTSA News.
KTSA News Time 9:02.
Good morning. We are noticing some slowdowns. This report sponsored by Staples. On 1604 northbound Calabria to Houseman, that's slowing down. Also 1604 westbound Judson over to 281. An accident 35 northbound approaching FM 1518 in Selma. It's got the left lane blocked, a solid 30-minute delay slow from O'Connor. Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Partly sunny to kick off the week. It'll be warm today with the high of 84. Breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy and humid. The low just 69 along the Riverwalk and 66 in Hill Country. Mostly cloudy, warmer and humid on Tuesday with the high of 88. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Up to 66 degrees, mostly cloudy skies at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
Well, we got those two ships safely through the Strait of Hormuz and well on their way. They apparently did not pay the toll to Iran, so Iran's really upset about that. There's not a dang thing that Iran can do about it. They don't have a navy. They don't have an air force anymore. They don't have the ability to really launch any missiles anymore. So they're impotent, and without some heavy-duty Viagra, they're not going to be able to fight back against what's going on here. And so they can complain all day long about this, but they're stuck. And this is going to continue to hurt worse for Iran. And, yeah, the people in charge that are running the show right now from the Revolutionary Guard, they may be nut jobs, but pretty soon the people are going to revolt. Once hunger sets in and once they're not paying their troops, it's the end.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, that they're running out of money to pay their own military and whatever constitutes a military in Iran. And, yeah, you're right. Once people start getting hungry, they start thinking about their own survival, I guess. I hope. But it just seems like whomever we are dealing with is in regards to leadership, they're still demanding to keep the enriched uranium. They're still demanding all the stuff that they know S-cans the whole deal.
Sure.
So what are they doing?
At some point they become a paper tiger.
Well, they probably already are that,
right.
But right. I mean, they're still holding on.
Yeah. All hat, no cattle eventually, and pretty soon we either move in or the people themselves rise up and take over the regime and they move on. So Jeanine Pirro went on with Jake Tapper, and they were talking about the guy who tried to go into the Washington Correspondents' Dinner and tried to kill President Trump. But Jake Tapper, of course, being who he is now carrying the water for this guy, much like a lot of people did for the Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
And so Jake Tapper's trying to it started this way at the beginning of this. Nora O'Donnell of CBS did it. Jake Tapper's doing it. They're now trying to create space between the guy's intentions and what he clearly wrote in the manifesto and Donald Trump by intimating that it was not Donald Trump he was after. I know. So here's how part of the discussion with Jeanine Pirro went yesterday.
The one issue that people might think about, is he insane? He is far from insane. He is brilliant. He has a master's degree. He worked at a NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. This is a guy who had no psychotic break. He documented his trip from the West Coast all the way to Chicago, all the way to Washington. Yeah. And he talks about the beautiful country and the Southwest desert and the woods in Pennsylvania. And he is very, very lucid and clear.
So, and you alluded to the target being clear by the manifesto. The only name in the manifesto is Kash Patel. He cites Kash Patel.
He leaves him out.
Which he says he's not, Kash Patel's not a target.
Right.
He does say, and I want to apologize for using this language, but he does say, quote, "I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes," unquote.
First of all, that's outrageous. I mean, there's a lot of other things you could have referred to. This guy is a hater. He hates Trump so much he wants to kill him.
Is he talking about Trump in that?
You're going to have to ask him that.
Okay.
I don't really...
See, that's what they're attempting to do. Nora O'Donnell did it last week on 60 Minutes, and it inflamed the president because he's not a pedophile.
Right.
But all the stuff that M. Snow's type media, those guys on the left and their left-wing media, that's what they have been saying about Donald Trump, and that's what people have been saying about Donald Trump on the left. That's the message they have put out there time and time again. It's very clear who he was after. And yet, for somebody like Jake Tapper or Norah O'Donnell to try to create his defense in the public eye, which means potential jurors, try to create a defense. Oh, he really wasn't after Donald Trump, because it's exactly what his attorneys. Jake Tapper is just carrying the line from his attorneys.
Well,
That's
yeah,
all.
I mean, obviously they're going for a crazy defense, which is going to be very, very difficult, as Janine Pirro points out, given all the planning and meticulousness of how this guy pulled off what he pulled off. But by saying, well, he refers to a rapist and pedophile, how do you know that's Donald Trump? You're in a sense trying to trick people into saying, well, obviously it's Donald Trump because he's what? A rapist and a pedophile. That's how you would know that that's who he's talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, guys.
Of course.
That's not very clever, but I see what you're trying to do. If you say it's Donald Trump, you're de facto saying he's a rapist and pedophile.
And here's one more thing about that. It came out over the weekend that in order to get a room, and I can believe this because on our travel company, this takes a while. In order to get a room in that hotel, especially at that time when there's going to be that dinner and those dignitaries there, you have to book at least a month out.
Right.
In other words, you don't just at the last moment decide, I'm going to go to this thing. So this nonsense of him getting on a train and traveling across the country and getting there on Friday and checking in, getting a room and checking in on Friday is nonsense. This was something that he had been planning for quite a long time.
Right.
Which, of course, adds to the whole argument of intentional negligence, because you want to tell me that the Secret now what you're trying to tell me then is the Secret Service had available to them a manifest of who every soul would be in that hotel on that day, on that evening, at that time, and they didn't check it?
There's a lot of questions, a lot of stuff about this that doesn't make sense. And intentional negligence, yeah, at the very least. Okay, the next question you have to ask is, did he have active help? Because very smart guy, master's degree, all that stuff, clever dude, rode the train in. But is he that clever? I mean, how did he know it would, in a sense, be that easy to get a room and to not be searched everywhere you go at that particular moment? I mean, he was writing as if he was surprised the night before at how lax the security was. So how did he know he could do any of this? It's kind of like the same questions I was asking at Butler. Intentional negligence, I think, is a great word, but do you believe in any way, shape, or form he may have had actual help? Because I think that's really an important question.
Well, last week there were, and this happened at Butler as well. There were, I believe, yes, absolutely. There were former Secret Service agents that say the most terrifying thing is there's people inside of that organization that are armed and they're around the president, and they would not mind his demise. And so, no, I can see that. Absolutely, I can see that. But again, all I'm doing now is pointing out the faults. Remember, last Monday at this time, I was saying, don't tell me the Secret Service did a good job, because they didn't. That. Because, Sean, at the very least, before you get anywhere near that date of the event, you say, I want to see the names of every person that has a room reserved in that hotel.
You would think.
And then as the Secret Service, you would call Kash Patel and say, run this through every system that you have, all these names. I want backgrounds on every person that is staying in that hotel on that date. I want it all.
Well, and this guy had a fairly sizable social media footprint at that point. I mean, people knew of his hatred of Donald Trump, and I would think it would have come up if they had done a search.
But even if he didn't, I agree with you, but even if he didn't, the FBI can check into you.
Oh, sure.
They can do that, online. They can do it in their back channels. They can show up at your house.
Right.
Oh, I see, Sean. You are scheduled to be here on this day. I want to know what for. I want to know your background. You see what I'm saying?
They have showed up at people's places, yeah.
They do it all the time.
For less, for $1,000, for much less.
They do it all the time. And so you're going to tell me that you had to have this room on this date booked at least a month in advance. And the Secret Service did not pull the manifest of everybody who was staying there and background check every. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Something stinks, man. Something stinks bad about this whole thing. I mean, of course they're going to go ahead with the insanity defense. They're not going to be able to prove it. There's no argument for it.
Well, look, even if they don't do the insanity defense, what they're going to do is claim that Trump was not his target. That's what they're claiming.
Right, but that
Trump was not the target. There was another pedophile that was there, that he was going to kill some pedophile that was there, and it wasn't Donald Trump. It was some dude that just happened to be in the ballroom or something.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're going to set up a
that's
defense.
ridiculous defense.
You're trying to say that it was Donald Trump. Well, he never said the name Donald. That's it.
But again, it's also a way of kind of tricking people into saying that Donald Trump is a rapist and a pedophile. But how did you know he's talking about Donald Trump? Whatever. I mean,
well, it was very clear that that's what Nora O'Donnell was doing when she said that. Oh, you think he's talking about you, huh? You must be a pedophile.
Right. That's the whole implication there, if you agree with that characterization as being something that immediately makes you think of Donald Trump. I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to watch what happens with the case, but I think, it should be a slam dunk, but will it be? Will it actually be a slam dunk? I don't know.
Well, there once was a time when you could say yes.
I don't believe it anymore.
But, it's a totally different world now. Let me tell you about our friends over at New Bath Today. You remember for years I've been talking about safe showers because that's what they do. They build safe, affordable showers for you. And then Bathwise, they got together and they combined with our friends at New Bath Today. They're the same wonderful people, the same great service, the same outstanding products, but now even more, okay? They've expanded way beyond just a safe shower, and they do all of your needs when it comes to a new bathroom. They offer beautiful new showers, tub-to-shower conversions, walk-in bathtubs, floor safety features, cabinets, vanities, everything. They do it all at New Bath Today. And so whether you want just a safer shower, okay, or a total bathroom remodeling project, they do it all at New Bath Today. I want you to check them out. Just go online. You'll see all their services there. And if you mention Trey Ware when you go online, they'll talk to you about the quality products, the expert installation, all that. But you get $1,500 off your brand new shower, plus low monthly payments as well. Just mention my name, and they got all that for you with a free, no-obligation, in-home quote from New Bath Today at newbathtoday.com. Hey, listen, I want to do something real quick here. Elaine, I got 20 tickets to go see our San Antonio Gunslingers. So let's do 5 family 4-packs, shall we? Right now. 210-599-5555. First 5 callers each will receive 4 tickets to the upcoming home game of the San Antonio Gunslingers. Call right now. 210-599-5555. Sun and a few clouds, high of 85 today. Right now 67, mostly cloudy, KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay is going to be through the Selma area, northeast side. 35 northbound approaching FM 1518. It's an accident. Left lane, stop and go from O'Connor. I-10 westbound Probat stall, left shoulder. 35 northbound the on-ramp from Thousand Oaks. That's some road work blocking the entrance ramp. And definitely filling in, slowing down a little bit. 1604 northbound Culebra to Houseman and 1604 westbound Judson over to 281. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio's conservative superstation. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Hey, this is Richard at Pride Floors. Want a cleaner, richer look in your home? Visit our showroom and explore the newest European oak styles. Quality products, lifetime installation warranties. Near 1604 in Lock Hill, Soma. At Pride Floors, we take pride in our floors so you can take pride in your home.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Upgrade your backyard with a custom patio cover from Precision Windows and Doors. Call us at 210-596-6588. PrecisionWindowsSA.com.
Hi, it's James. I'm the owner of Patriot Driving Cleaning, proudly offering professional driving cleaning here in San Antonio for a flat rate of $95. Schedule today at cleanmydryevent.org. That's cleanmydryevent.org. Patriot Driving Cleaning, veteran owned, veteran proud, and veteran standards.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomba from the KTSA Rock and Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
For a lot of people, just hearing the word dentist brings anxiety. Maybe you've been putting it off for years because of fear or because you're embarrassed. I get it. But Dr. Mark J. Williamson in San Antonio has built his entire dental practice around people just like you. At Dr. Williamson and Associates, you'll never be judged. You'll be cared for. His team listens, takes their time, and tailors every treatment to you. And if you're really anxious, Dr. Williamson offers IV sedation so you can literally sleep through your appointment and wake up with a healthy smile. Sometimes taking care of years of neglect in just one morning. So don't fear the dentist. Take that first step toward confidence and health. Right off Loop 410 and Cherry Ridge. Call 210-341-2569 or visit mjwdental.com. That's mjwdental.com.
Ben Adams Jewelers is going out of business after 56 years. Everything must go. Save up to 70% store-wide, plus take an extra 10% off. Prices have never been lower. Hurry in before it's too late.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call me, Lance Drury, in San Antonio at 726-202-1300 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
News, traffic, weather. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
1, 2, 3. 921 KTSA.
Got my own version of bits and pieces because today's not today's one of those scattered news days where you just have a lot of scattered news stories. You know what I mean? It's not a very exciting Monday in that regard. First off, I mentioned this earlier in the program that the Oscars have announced as far as I think we're coming up with the 99th Oscar, whatever. People don't really care anymore, but they're trying to address the AI thing. And as far as winning any kind of acting award, it's going to have some connection to you, the actor. So like what they did with Val Kilmer just recently, they've got him in a movie where he's throughout the movie, and he's a movie he had agreed to do initially, and they got too sick to do it. But they use AI to generate him at different ages. He plays a priest, and apparently he had the okay from his family and his kids. Everybody was involved. You're not going to be able to just generate a performance based upon an actor that does not have a human component if you want to win an award, which I think is cool. And secondly, they announced that screenplays will not win Best Writing awards unless they were actually written by a human being predominantly. They can't be screenplays that were completely generated by artificial intelligence. There has to be a human being. I mean, they're trying to save jobs. I get it. And I applaud it because I still kind of have I'm still trying to figure out my relationship with artificial intelligence and creativity and all that stuff. But good on them. I mean, nobody really cares about the Oscars anymore, but good on them for at least by at least trying to keep a human being involved. You're kind of smirking at me.
Well, first of all, the Oscars are irrelevant.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So what are they going to care if they win an Oscar or not? The more irrelevant the Oscars become over time, somebody who wants to make a good movie and make a lot of money at it,
right?
And they don't necessarily care about winning an Oscar because the Oscars don't mean anything anymore. They're going to just make the movie.
It's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of trying to keep human beings involved in making art. I think that's probably a good idea. People who have no freaking talent are going to love this new AI stuff, and they're just going to thrive. Mediocre people will thrive in the new world of artificial intelligence. But at least they're trying to.
I've always thought it was a good idea to keep the families involved. Like I remember the days when Yul Brynner actually demanded that his spots, his PSAs, run after his death.
Well, it was about the cigarettes.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal. That I remember seeing those on TV after he died.
Yeah.
That he wanted, when he was dying of cancer, lung cancer, I think, he wanted videos or footage of him saying, "Don't smoke."
Right.
That was cool. Did you see this other story about out of Jacksonville, Florida, where you have an individual who is going to jump into the St. Johns River. It's 200 feet above the ground. And you have a bunch of cops show up. One of them is a minister, and he starts talking to the dude. And if you sit and watch the video, it's pretty tense stuff. And then he says a prayer for him, and finally gets him to come to him, and he puts his arm around him, and it's going to be okay, brother. I mean, that's an intense video to watch.
Antonio Richardson was the name of the officer. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever you're going through, man, you can get through it. No, listen, man, listen. You can get through this. Come on, let's talk about it for a minute. Can I at least have a prayer with you? You believe in prayer, I know that. Can I at least have a prayer with you? You mind if I just hold your hand and pray with you? Come on, man, touch my hand. Touch it from this side. Look at my hand. Just touch my hand. Just touch my hand, man. I'm praying with you. You're hurting, but if you jump, you're gonna hurt other people. And they're gonna be hurting just like you're hurting now. The cycle got to stop of hurt. The sight of hurt got to stop.
I know you got a lot going on. You do. But whatever, if you make that jump, it is going to be 100 times worse for everyone you care about. I know you don't want to do that to them.
Ruin them. Right there. Come on, man. Come on, please.
Man, he takes the cop's hand.
Yep. That's an amazing moment. It's an amazing video.
Never choose a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and all problems are temporary.
I agree. All problems are. So that was an intense video to watch, and I'd seen it over the weekend. Beyond that, let's see. I was talking to you about the Oscars and AI. I want to just go back to what Melania Trump was doing last week, because she was talking about education and AI. And we had talked earlier in the show about how the art of writing is just going to go away. And there's going to be certain things that with artificial intelligence, people just aren't going to have to know how to do anymore. Mm-hmm. And I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about a lot of that stuff. I think as an educational tool, it'll be great because you will be able to personalize education for each kid to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. But are we going to be teaching them critical thinking skills again? Are they going to learn basic composition and comprehension and all that stuff? Or is that going to go bye-bye? My concern with AI, and I'm kind of circling back around to the Oscars story, where, there's at least an attempt to keep human beings involved in the creative process. We talk a lot about Elon Musk saying once AI starts doing all this stuff, humans won't have to do anything, and they can then, I guess, devote their lives to something else. But if robots are doing everything and AI is doing everything, what's that other thing that we'll be able to do? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What are we actually going to be freed up to do if it's doing everything? Mm-hmm. I'm just asking.
No, I know. So my thoughts on AI, it pertinent to what you're talking about. Yes, for sure, humans will lose the ability to do certain things like composition. Where does a comma go? Where does the semicolon go?
To be able to express yourself, yeah.
But a lot of that disappeared with word processors. When you had an IBM Selectrix typewriter, you had to know where commas went, right?
Right.
And a beautiful San Antonio lady, Michael Nesmith's mama, invented liquid paper for that very reason, so you could move the comma if you needed to. But then word processors came along, and it knew where to put your comma and your period. So people, they forgot a lot of that. Same is true with making change, or when Texas Instruments introduced the first calculator, now people didn't have to multiply, divide, add, subtract, because a calculator would do that for them. Here's the critical problem with AI as I see it. It surpasses all those tools like a calculator and like a computer, word processor and all that, in that it actually thinks for you. That's the danger of AI. Not replacing your skills as far as where you put a comma. It's going to do that, and that's going to be replaced, just like making change was replaced. But now you've got a being. You've created a being that can think for you, and Starbucks is already using it to decide which coffee you're going to buy that
That's
day.
Creepy
That's
crap.
the problem with AI. It's not taking over the mundane task. It's the thinking.
Knowing where a comma goes is actually a valuable thing to know, as far as expressing yourself properly in words. And people are going to lose that ability to express themselves in words because it'll do the thinking for it. Everybody was hopped up this weekend on these, they were called unhinged bios, where everybody was posting these. And I know we got to go. And it's like the AI will scour the internet and come up with every tiny little detail about you in seconds.
But you see what I'm saying?
And write a biography that no human being has written.
Right. But you see what I'm saying? A lot of the mundane stuff is going to go away. It will be replaced, just like composition was by word processors some 50 years ago. It's the thinking aspect of AI that should scare the snot out of everybody.
Well,
you've got a thing, and then you combine the thinking with a robot, and you've got a living being that can hit harder than you and run faster than you. Big problem.
Well, and I told you, we got to wrap it up.
All right, more coming up, more Ware and Rima coming up. I got to tell you, over to Ownwell, ownwell.com, they are ready to take care of fighting for your property tax reduction. If you're not protesting your property taxes, then you're leaving money on the table. You really, really are. And you probably got your protest, your tax bill, or at least your valuations, and you're like, oh, my gosh. Well, look, even if you aren't saying, oh, my gosh, even if you're saying, well, this is much better than it has been in the past, it's still not good enough. And Ownwell.com, what they do is they go and they get your property taxes reduced. And if they don't get them reduced, you don't have to pay them one dime. How do I know all this? Well, that's where Nancy and I have gone now for years at Ownwell.com. We just stay with them year after year after year because they have saved us hundreds and even thousands of dollars on our property taxes. That's money we have been able to use for other things. Well, how about you? Now is the time to get signed up with Ownwell.com. All you do is you take 3 minutes to sign up online, and they take care of everything else. But hurry. We're now down to it. In about 10 days, you're going to be hitting that deadline to file your protest. So this is the time right now, this very minute. Ownwell.com. Mention Trey Ware when you do. Ownwell.com. Save money on your property taxes right now. Ownwell.com.
Ware and Rima, on air and online every morning.
And actually, they become hot as a pistol, so what can I tell you?
Watch the show weekday mornings 6 till 10, only on KTSA.com.
Hey, it's Sean. I'm going to be talking to Mark Havercorn, Dr. Mark Havercorn, very soon about some work that I'd like to have done. If you have any kind of issue concerning oral surgery, maybe you want your wisdom teeth extracted, maybe you need some reconstructive stuff, he can take care of that for you at River City Oral Surgery. You also don't need a referral. And I'll tell you what, if you're worried about the cost, all of the pricing is published on the website. You can go check it out. It's bundled pricing, which means, let's say you want a full jaw of implants. We can look it up on the website and see exactly how much that's going to cost you. There's no surprise fees after you get the work done. Maybe you need the wisdom teeth pulled. You can look that up and see exactly how much that is going to cost you. I also like the fact that he's here in the community. He is never at some other clinic in some other town. He is always right here in San Antonio, Texas at River City Oral Surgery. So if you want to call him up and just ask about a certain procedure you're thinking about having, you can do that. Again, you do not need a referral. Just call him up, 210-778-0002, or look him up online at rivercityoms.com.
Join Americana Arms in Beeville for their annual Smith & Wesson 2-day sales event. May 15th and 16th, Smith & Wesson reps are going to be on site at Americana Arms with a full display of their products both days. Going to be special pricing on all Smith & Wesson firearms and giveaways with your purchase. Mark your calendars for Friday, May 15th from 10 to 7 and Saturday, May 16th from 9 to 5. And follow Americana Arms on Facebook and Instagram for more information. Smith & Wesson at Americana Arms in Beeville. It's worth the drive.
Hey, it's Sean. If you're a small business owner in Texas and you're looking at ways to cover your employees as far as their health care, talk to my friends at Texacare. Many small businesses across the state have not been able to offer basic health coverage to employees, but Texacare's goal is to provide a new health care option that is built with small businesses in mind. In fact, they've talked to small business owners to understand what is important to them. Texacare plans are designed with the goal of making it easier for people and their families to stay healthy, with benefits like no copay, unlimited virtual care visits with licensed doctors 24/7, no appointment, no waiting in an office. Just quick access to a doctor who can diagnose common ailments and prescribe treatments by phone, video, call, or text. Talk to my friends at Texacare. Take care, Texas. All you got to do is go to the website for all the information. If you're a small business owner, you need Texacare. That website, Texacare.com. That's Texacare.com. Take care, Texas, with Texacare.
Dave Ramsey here. When your AC quits, the plumbing backs up, or something electrical goes sideways, you need straight answers. That's why I recommend Champion Home Services. They handle heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. One company with no pressure and no games or upselling. Just honesty and clear pricing before anything starts. You see the purple Champion trucks and their belt buckle logo all over town. Champion believes in doing things the right way the first time. They show up on time, respect your home, they respect your money, and they do the work like professionals should, helping you sleep better at night. So when you need reliable AC, plumbing, and electrical help from people you can trust, call Champion Home Services at 210-528-1604 or go to championac.com. Trustworthy, Texas-proud home services, championac.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to keep you moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
A new phase in the war between the U.S. and Iran now underway, and it's now testing a ceasefire that's been going on for about 3 weeks. One man might be lucky to end up with a DWI charge after his car was smashed by a train this morning on the northeast side. And today is Star Wars Day. That's got lots of fans ready to go out and spend some money. We got more on these stories and others coming up 10 o'clock. KTSA News Time, 9:37.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay this midday is going to be road work on 35 northeast side of town. This report sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's going to be northbound 35, that on-ramp from Thousand Oaks. We've got some road work. It's blocking the entrance ramp. I-10 westbound at Probat, south side of downtown. That's a stall. It's off to the shoulder. Little bit of a delay, 1604 westbound Judson over to 281. For the most part, in good shape as you head into your midday commute. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Warmer and increasingly humid to kick off the week. It'll be partly sunny today with the high up to 84. Breezy this evening, otherwise warm and humid. The low 69 along the Riverwalk and 66 in Hill Country. Mostly cloudy, humid, even warmer Tuesday, the high of 88. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
We've got 70 degrees and partly cloudy skies at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Okay, so, stand back, Stevie Nicks. Like it. So, the guy with a car, northeast side of town, train, he's okay?
He is.
Yeah,
he is.
He was stuck on the tracks. It's Frat Road and Interchange Road.
It's right behind that gentleman's club that they, not that I know anything about that, but.
Well, not that they're gentlemen.
No. So he's trying to cross it.
He got stuck on the tracks, and he saw the train coming, and he jumped out and ran off.
But then he went back.
He wasn't
when he went back, though.
Oh, maybe.
He went back for what?
Maybe he was.
He ran away. His car got hit. How's he going to get home? So he goes back to the scene.
What?
Cops decided, well, maybe we'll take a look at this.
So did they test him? Like touch your nose?
I don't know the
Stand
details.
on 1 foot?
But he was arrested and charged under suspicion of DWI.
Say that. Touch your nose. Elaine got caught in it this morning. You called me whatever time it was.
Yeah, I was at the train tracks right there, Eisenhower and Walsham. It was just
really?
Stopped.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
She
That's
said,
why.
how do I get to work?
It's
I said,
just a
how
big
do
wall
I
of train.
go through Ritterman? Because I know back in the day, you knew all these back roads.
I still do. This is my neighborhood. So
I'm happy for that.
Yeah, because you made it.
Navigator to work.
I told her to go through the neighborhood, take a right on this street, take a left on this street, take a right, take a left, take a right.
Right.
And that's how you're going to get here. But I see it, guys. I see it every day.
What's that?
When I leave here and pull up here to the railroad tracks,
Uh-huh.
cars will park on the railroad tracks.
Yep.
That's not very smart.
It looked like
I
this
used to
guy.
see that every now and again myself when I'd come in that direction.
I actually saw two people on Friday who were behind the railroad tracks, so they were safe, and then they pulled up and stopped on the railroad tracks, both of them. And I'm like, okay, so are you intentionally trying to kill yourself? What are you doing here?
It's one thing when a Waymo does it, but then a human?
I've never seen a Waymo do it.
Oh, yeah, they have.
Have they really?
Go up on the railroad
There
track?
have been
Phoenix.
2 or 3 in San Antonio that have got up under the rail and stopped, and not on the tracks, but between the tracks
there?
and the arm. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's dumb.
And
Speaking
of
not
Waymo,
smart.
Speaking of Waymo, they have actually their complex is right there at that industrial complex down in down Eisenhower.
Oh, so that's why we see them driving.
So that's why we see them.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why. But yeah, I mean, I see it all the time. Their cars will just stop on the railroad tracks.
Why?
I don't get it.
Why do they do that?
Now, out there where Jimmy lives in Schertz, a couple of the railroad track places there on 78, it's a hump that you have to go over. Mm-hmm. So some of those trucks with a trailer, they don't make the hump. And the trailer gets stuck.
Yeah.
Right?
There was an
the physics
accident there at FM 78 and 3009.
What's that?
Remember? There was an accident there with a semi.
Oh, yeah, they always are. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Jimmy, where Schertz Parkway is? It's a hump, and so the trailer pulls over, the trailer gets stuck, and here comes the train, baby, kablam.
That would be uncool.
Yeah.
That would be no fun.
That's a bad day.
That's a bad day.
Well, Obviously, the dude this morning was and why do they call them Gentlemen's Club? There's nothing gentlemanly about that place.
But no one. But let's be clear. No one said he was there. It just happened right by it.
Okay.
So the evidence might be suggestive, but he just lost a front end.
But on the larger question, yes, it is kind of funny that they're called gentlemen's clubs because you don't tend to run into many gentlemen when you're in one of those clubs.
Well, let's check that.
House.
Hold on.
Booty house?
It's the booty house.
The booty house.
You don't typically do you go there to see gentlemen?
No.
You might
No,
go
because
there for the buffet.
you go there to see women. So they should be called women's clubs? Because
I guess
you go there to see women.
I need to make a correction here.
It's like I go to a steakhouse to eat a steak.
This is big breaking news.
Yes,
that many more.
It's called the San Antonio Men's Club.
Well, there you go.
Men's
Not
club.
But again, follow my logic here. Is anybody going there to watch men dance?
No, not usually.
What are you going there for? You're going there to watch women
you're saying
dance.
it should be the San Antonio Ladies Club?
Exactly.
It's the booty house.
The booty house.
Oh, Elaine just
That's what it
put
is.
us right in the gutter.
House.
You're either going to see booty or to go to the buffet.
You know, Miss Rodriguez, Miss Rodriguez, you got us into trouble last week with your comments about the Queen. Are you about to do it again?
That was hilarious.
Are you going to do it
Called her
again?
a hoe?
Yeah. You did.
You just did again.
That's right.
She learned
She's
her
talking
lesson.
about a garden implement, Trey.
That's
It's
exactly
something
what
that
it
you
was.
that
It's yard
you
work.
use in yard work.
Hanging on the wall
You
next to the
guys
rake.
say
Right.
chicks and girls,
I do
little
not.
crazy women.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
I do
You
not.
do what?
Say chicks
Chicks.
and little girls and crazy women, KJP.
Boy, it's a colorful commentary here.
Well, yeah.
How do we go?
You guys see all kinds of crazy crap off the air.
How do we go from railroad tracks?
Yeah, we
To
really
this.
we went right
Saying
to the
that
gutter.
I shouldn't have said that hoe word.
I was merely asking the question: if you go to a place to see women dance, it should be called a women's club, not a men's club, because it's kind of like I go to a steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse Steakhouse to eat steak, right? So it says steakhouse, so I know where I'm going and why I'm going there. It's not a men's club. I'm not going to see men.
So
I'm
what's
going to see
wrong with
women.
calling it the booty house?
Trey, Elaine's just answering
God.
the question is all.
Okay.
It's
well,
deep.
There
I
we
just
go.
call it a stripper club. That's what I always called it. 'Cause
Sean's
there's
old school.
strippers
That's it.
inside, so it's the stripper club.
Right.
It might be a buffet.
No,
Might be a buffet, and I've heard they're really good around here.
Yeah.
I
That's
go
what I've
back.
heard.
I
We
go back
had
to the
expert
marketing
opinion.
days of Rees and Trout, which was say what you are.
Say what you are. Well, stripper club then I guess works, doesn't it?
That's exactly
There we
right.
go.
All right,
Good
The
job.
queen's a hoe.
Good job.
Ah.
And has she ever been over here to this club?
Oh.
Who? What? Where? When?
Is that what you're saying?
Queen Camilla?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I just wondered. I was wondering if that's what you were saying. I didn't know if
I
it
mean,
was.
I'm sure there's someone called Queen Camilla.
Probably a few Camillas have passed through.
Poor
Gone around the pole.
Boy. Yeah.
All right.
Holy
we,
crap.
We got to move along because Jack is waiting now, and maybe he won't even do the cross now. Let me
That's
tell
I'm not going on with these guys. I don't know how to say anything about that.
Amity Bank, what a great group of folks they are at Amity. They are your family bank with a brand new branch over here at Bitters and 281. Now, they are your go-to bank for all things small business loans with the SBA. Number one in the state of Texas. And I know this personally. About 15 years ago, Nancy and I wanted to refi our mortgage and save some money, and boy, did we. Literally thousands of dollars of our mortgage costs were saved because Amity did such a phenomenal job redoing our mortgage payments, and we loved it. And so we moved other business there. We're moving even more business to Amity Bank on a regular basis as we continue to grow our enterprises and our stuff that's our businesses. This is exactly where we are at Amity Bank. David McGee is an outstanding man, one of the finest human beings I've ever met in my life. He's the president of Amity Bank, and he's ready to meet with you personally if that's what you need for your family-run business. He's ready to talk with you about how to operate the business, how to get it open, what to do, those kinds of advice, things that they can do for you. But also lines of credit. I mean, if you go into business, you're going to have a line of credit so you can turn the lights on, get the phones hooked up, get some insurance paid, get some people hired, those kinds of things. And they can help you with all of that at Amity Bank. So whether it's a home mortgage loan, a home improvement loan, or advice for how to put money away for the kiddos for college, or or you really are starting that family-run business. Finally, you're getting around to that. Amegy is here to help you with more than 80 branch locations are all online at AmegyBank.com. Amegy N.A., member FDIC, equal housing lender. Going to be sun and a few clouds around today, 85 for the high. Rain chances return Wednesday through Saturday of this week, 67 now, KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay this midday is going to be road work on 35 northeast side of town. This report sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's going to be northbound 35, that on-ramp from Thousand Oaks. We've got some road work. It's blocking the entrance ramp. I-10 westbound at Probat, south side of downtown. That's a stall. It's off to the shoulder. Little bit of a delay, 1604 westbound Judson over to 281. For the most part, in good shape as you head into your midday commute. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, this is Richard at Pride Floors. Want a cleaner, richer look in your home? Visit our showroom and explore the newest European oak styles. Quality products, lifetime installation warranties. Near 1604 in Lock Hill, Soma. At Pride Floors, we take pride in our floors so you can take pride in your home.
I'm James, owner of Patriot Dryer Vent Cleaning. Lead buildup in your dryer can cause a dangerous house fire. Annual cleaning is a must. So schedule your appointment with Patriot Dryer Vent Cleaning at cleanmydryervent.org. That's cleanmydryervent.org. We're veteran owned, veteran proud, with veteran standards.
Your garage door is the largest moving part of your home and possibly the ugliest. Precision Garage Door of San Antonio installs beautiful new doors that boost curb appeal instantly. See the door on your home before you buy and call Precision Garage Door.
A bathroom remodel is not just about looks. It's about comfort, safety, and function, too. Trey Ware here with Safe Showers and Bathwise. They have now joined forces with New Bath Today to bring you more. They're the same trusted people, same great service, and now a whole lot more for you and your new bathroom remodel. New Bath Today still offers beautiful new showers, tub-to-shower conversions, walk-in tubs, and safety upgrades, but now they've expanded to include more complete bathroom remodeling, including toilets, flooring, vanities, and more. So whether you want a safer shower or a total bathroom refresh, I recommend you get in touch with New Bath Today. They can help you create a bathroom that looks better, feels better, and works better for your life. You get quality products, expert installation, and a smoother experience from start to finish. And right now, get $1,500 off your new shower plus low monthly payments. Get your free quote today at newbathtoday.com. New Bath Today, the same trusted team now with more for your bathroom. newbathtoday.com.
In the 80s, fashion was rad and music was cool. But if your AC isn't cool, that's totally bogus. It's Martin Bamba from the KTSA Rock and Home Show. For AC repair or a full install, call Right Home Services right now and get a complete AC install up to 3 tons for just $89.99. That's a limited time deal with serious savings. Right has the right team, the right price, and the right stuff. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000. They bring the cool.
The right stuff.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Well, we know the benefits of having great hearing aids and being able to hear well. That's exactly why I've been telling you now for a long time about Hear, H-E-A-R, here in Texas. But did you also know there are problems with health that are associated often with poor hearing? Things like balance issues and early onset dementia. If you or somebody that you know suffers from hearing loss, as I do, I want you to see Hear in Texas. Simply the best. They will do a complete evaluation of your hearing to find out what's going on so they can prescribe for you the right fix that's for you. You see, there's no cookie cutter approach with the team at Here in Texas. They are a team of hearing specialists and they're ready to work for you today. They accept TRICARE and other insurance as well, and they have a wonderful subscription service. So when the technology updates, as it does frequently, you just get a brand new pair of hearing aids. Find out more today by logging on at Here in Texas, H-E-A-R, HereInTX.com. Have your hearing tested today at the best in Texas. That's Here in Texas, H-E-A-R, HereInTX.com.
Get the latest local news, weather, and traffic online at KTSA.com. This is News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
You ever heard that dude sing without auto-tune?
Yes.
It's really bad.
Who is this?
Vince Neil.
Motley
Vince
Crue.
Neil. Oh, God.
952, Ware and Rima and Jack Riccardi checking in for Jack and 60. And Jack and 60 today. Black people literally can't vote anymore. And Todd Blanche, the temporary maybe or maybe full-time, who knows, Department of Justice AG, talked about this yesterday. So, Jack, break it down for us. Break it down.
By the way, they're calling him Todd Bleach now. Have you heard that?
Oh, no, I haven't. That was the previous boss. She had plenty of bleach in her hair. Yeah. So.
Well, yes, black people literally can't vote. See, I thought, I guess, I was confused. I thought they were still voting, and I thought that you still had a congressman, and I thought that I thought that a black person could be represented by a white candidate. Did you know that that's not possible?
Not possible at all, huh?
So, the river of rage really widened out this weekend. They really last week Hakeem Jeffries was doing his moving the cups around thing that he does, but now we're really, and I guess it's because this really does matter. I said Friday, we now know how important racial gerrymandering actually is. It isn't just something they like having, or they feel absolutely entitled to it. It's central to like the Democrats' strategy. So something major has been taken away from them here.
Well,
and they're raging about it.
Donna Brazile said to Martha Raddatz yesterday that we're now back to Jim Crow. The Supreme Court.
I thought we already were back to Jim Crow.
I know. And that black people always thought since 1965, they thought that they had a seat at the table, but that seat's been taken away. So black people
Wasn't she literally sitting at a table?
She was.
She said that?
Yeah. And one of the most
This
powerful
is a woman.
people.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. She chaired the Democratic Party. I mean, what kind of a victimhood is she claiming? My daddy came home with medals. And by the way, my daddy, that's so, don't personalize. Ugh. I mean, have a discussion about, let's talk about this like adults, not my daddy. And I just, the whole thing. They love it, though. They really love being upset about this. And they know that a lot of conservatives react to this. They're not just saying this for their own team. They know that conservatives, the old school conservatives will go out of their way to prove I'm not a racist. Some of my best friends, that whole thing.
Well,
so they get that extra bonus from it,
Well, but you can't even reason with them and tell them in arguing the position that you're arguing for and this racial gerrymandering, you're arguing, number one, for discrimination and for racism. Do you realize you're arguing for both of those things? And you can't get through to them on that level, but that's exactly what it is. It's discrimination and it's racism.
Well, absolutely.
Well, because, I guess because we're not done, and we will never be done, compensating for the past. So it's a different racism, Trey. It's the make good racism.
It's the make good racism, right?
And look, this is not coming from Donna Brazile. This comes from white liberals who have the struggle session mentality that the way they show they're good people, the thing they do, the product they make, the thing they're known for, like, your state is known for making cars or whatever. The thing they're known for is the whole public struggle session. I feel guilty. I need to make it up. This is stolen land. Systemic racism. It's just part of that.
Yeah, but I mean, it wanders into the bizarre when and deeply insulting when you're basically telling, if you're talking about the Save America Act, you're basically telling people that if you're black, you can't possibly come up with a photo ID on your. I mean, I get what you're saying as far as the white Karens, and look how much I care about black people. I know how oppressive it is to make them have to have a photo ID to vote.
You remember David French? Do you remember?
Sure.
Sean,
oh God. Oh, God.
Remember how he was a conservative before 2016, and then Trump broke his brain.
Oh, right.
And remember, for a few years there, he was telling those stories about how he and his wife had adopted an African baby, and a truckload of white guys drove at them and yelled the N-word, and he couldn't go to his church. His church didn't want him to come to church with his family anymore, Presbyterian church.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't believe any of that. But that's to say, it's the whole Jussie Smollett struggle session, it's so hard in the era of Trump. By the way, all of this will go away. We'll never hear word one of it if Newsom's president. There'll be no problems. There'll be no guys with MAGA hats and trucks of young white men. That'll all go away. Jim Crow will be gone.
Well, in a sense, I mean, when we elected the first black president, and did it twice. How did such a systemically racist nation manage to have that happen? It kind of went away for about 8 years while Obama was in office, and then
they distracted us, Sean. They distracted us with American Idol, is what they did. And then when we came to our racial senses again, we reinstituted Jim Crow.
I thought it was The Apprentice that distracted us,
or The Apprentice.
Yeah, The Apprentice. Yeah. Donald Trump's always been a distraction.
Because that's when he was really good and in graces with those people, but not anymore. Yes. He was awesome.
Wow.
When he was doing that. But now that he's correcting a lot of the crap they broke and things and the ills that they brought us, they don't like him all that much.
But I watched Donna Brazile, who I really like. I in spite of everything, I really like her. And I watched her give that performance on This Week, and she kept like side-eyeing what's her name, Martha. Like, is it working? Am I pulling this off? You know what I mean? Like she's doing a bit, and she's looking to see if the audience is into it.
Sure.
It just is such a bit at this point.
Sure.
Well, it is. I mean, the whole race thing is a contrivance at this point.
I think all of their television appearances are. What Jack is saying is that these guys are actors.
Oh, well,
and highly paid, highly compensated actors. Jack in 60 is coming up next right here on KTSA. You have